Woo! What is going on, you guys? It is Dollar Cost Crypto here, live in Las Vegas for I don't know how long. I've got a couple special guests. I've got the 33 Life Path, Gary the Numbers Guy. What's going on, brother?
He's a 33 too, though.
Oh, so this is a 33 stream.
So we got three 33s. Woo! You guys ready to get canceled?
that was my concern.
I got a special guest, you guys. No. I bring someone from the back.
Oh, don't you dare.
Come on, Nick Fuentes. No.
Nick's my friend. He would let me know if he was coming.
No. But all jokes aside, I mean, actually, last night there was 3 33s as well.
Yeah.
We were battling supposed saints.
Yeah, of course.
On live.
Of course.
You want to give people a little breakdown of kind of that craziness?
I mean, listen, we have people who found Christ 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago.
Right. And
they're already telling people they're prophets. They already found Jesus 3 weeks ago, and not only now they're moved past all the billions of Christians, and now they're prophets. So I find that quite interesting.
Well, you need to explain that. What do you mean?
Well, they basically said, well, this one guy yesterday, he said he's John the Baptist.
Oh, right. Okay, the reincarnation.
Yes, the reincarnation in John the Baptist. And here's the best thing.
That's possible for you, isn't it?
No, here's the best thing. He calls me the Judas snake, okay? I'm the Judas snake, but the way he proves that he is John the Baptist is with numerology and astrology.
So he's basically calling you the forbidden fruit.
Yes, but he's the one, but he's using that knowledge to prove that he is John the Baptist reincarnated. And again, this is all on Twitter. Now, what a cesspool Twitter has become.
Like to play devil's advocate.
And this is Suleiman, by the way.
Right,
he hasn't introduced himself.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm like basically the king of Twitter. But coming back to it,
damn, there's that 33 ego. But here's the difference: 33rd deserved ego. He is the king of Twitter.
So I mean, according to you, like you can be reincarnated. So maybe this is him being reincarnated, and now he's in his right, like soul.
100%. I mean, he's a 9 life path. Of course, he's the chosen one.
And I was about to get to that. Isn't it kind of funny? The two guys you're arguing with were both 9s.
Yeah, I know. It was quite hilarious that both these clowns were talking, just shit about Christ and Jesus and Christianity. Stuff I do all the time. Yeah. But they were doing it last year. And now all of a sudden they are saying that they talk to angels, and they've been Christians for like 3 months.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely amazing. But this is what I keep telling people. All seriousness aside, the Christians out there, you have like a mental illness within your cult, because Christianity is the biggest cult in the world, 2.3 million people, followed by Islam, which is 2.1 million people. But here's the point: I've never seen a Muslim tell me I am Allah's chosen one or anything like that. Not one time have I ever had a Muslim tell me, but I've had multiple Christians tell me this. So obviously these people don't represent Christianity, but that mental illness is alive and well, brother.
Right.
I mean, I think I'm Allah's chosen one.
Oh,
God.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
So I made a joke. It's like a Catholic, a Jew, and a Muslim walk into a bar, right? And
well, a Muslim wouldn't go to a bar, but
yeah.
Well, with a Jew, right?
I mean,
you'd be surprised, brother. I've seen quite a few supposed
I wouldn't go to a pig
Muslims
farm.
in bars for sure. Can Muslims go to strip clubs?
No.
Oh, I've seen plenty of that, brother. Can we? Maybe this is like so your lane right here, but I don't know. A lot of people can't handle Vegas. A lot of people can't handle Miami. And I've said this for a long time that Miami's a lot crazier than actually Vegas.
You think so?
I really believe so. I truly believe so.
You have one real casino in Miami.
Yes, the Hard Rock, right? No, but
which me and you spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
Over here, you got a whole bunch of Hard Rocks.
Yeah, a whole Hard Rock, and they're building another Hard Rock.
Yeah,
too.
Pretty much.
What was your question?
So it was basically that in terms of like between Vegas, Miami are like two cities that like obviously it's more of a gambling vice here. Obviously women as well, but in Miami it's a lot more. I would say it's more women. It's more like lust city. Where this used to be, it's still lust here. Like I've true, but it's gambling. It's it's entertainment and stuff like that.
Different type of lust.
Different type of lust, but it is that, right? And I've just noticed because I've been around the town a few times. I've been around Brickell. I've been on Fresh and Fade. I've seen this, and I've seen just a lot of people who are Muslim doing things that aren't very Muslim. as well as Christians, as well as like Jews. I mean, it's everybody, right?
What are Jews not supposed to do?
I don't know. Something about bacon.
A lot.
Bacon.
A lot, because Judaism is the most strictest religion, significantly. Now, in terms of Islam, what you're saying, of course, like, look, at the end of the day, to be a Muslim is basically to believe in Allah and to believe in the Prophet, peace be upon him. Now, that makes you a Muslim, but does it make you what an actual Muslim is meant to be?
Like a model Muslim?
Yeah, a model Muslim.
Okay.
So then it is following the rules, following the requirements, ensuring that you're the best of man, treating people with respect, not screwing people over, being loyal, not breaking the laws of Islam. So that makes you like the best Muslim, or the best you can be. And you try and aspire to be the best you can. So if a Muslim basically does commit sin, then his way of combating that is to repent. So
he can repent.
Yeah, of course. I mean, repentance is an important aspect of.
So you can repent from being alcoholic if you're a Muslim.
Yeah. Because what is repentance? Repentance isn't like, for example, and again, I don't want to like mischaracterize Christianity, but like, for example, in Islam, repentance isn't like saying a number of Hail Marys, but it's truly in your heart regretting what you did. And if you truly, truly regret what you did, you won't do it again. So therefore, it's the true repentance of the heart.
So what happens to somebody that he's trying to repent, he repents, he says he does, and then he falls back into it a year or two later?
Which is possible, because people are weak, right?
Yeah.
And so again, it's basically ensuring that he stops doing it. So, like, for example, let's say someone did something wrong, then they repented, then they did something wrong again, is basically your question. Then of course they may repent again, because repentance isn't like, for example, saying, "Oh, I feel like I've done something wrong." It's truly, truly trying to change yourself. Now, it can happen that you truly change yourself, and then unfortunately, man is weak. Some men are more weaker than others. You basically end up falling into this depravity again, and so therefore it's
So God forgives you every time.
If you truly repent, but you understand what I mean by true repentance.
Okay, yeah, I guess
it's in your heart. If you feel in your soul.
This is what I'm thinking. Like,
not just like
there's a woman who is married to someone, and then she cheats on her husband. She feels real bad about it. Then she does it again in the year. Then she feels real bad about it. Then she sees the plumber. It is what it is. So at what point do we start saying, "Yo, I know you really feel sorry"?
Abdul grabbed the rock. Abdul grabbed the rock.
Yeah, that's what got me suspended on Twitter right there.
So, I mean, it's a good question. First of all, I mean, feeling bad isn't the same as true repentance. That's the first thing. The true repentance is that thing that, generally speaking, if you do it properly and you actually feel it through your soul, you won't do it again. Also, there's another aspect to it, which is when you basically do something to another human being, then you also need to obviously ask forgiveness from that human being, and that person has to forgive you. So, for example, let's say I steal money off you. I can, completely feel bad about it. I can feel complete repentance. Even then, that's not good enough. I actually have to get apology.
Where's my money, right?
Yeah, exactly. I apologize to you. And then if you forgive me, truly, then it is.
But do you view all humans as equal and stuff? Because there's tons of this stuff. I mean, brought up Catholic. I mean, I don't know if this is how it was in the past and shit, in the 1400s or something like that. But at least how I was brought up, everybody, it doesn't matter the religion, they're all humans, right? But in a lot of other religions, it's kind of like, yes, they're humans, but obviously we're up here, and it's been a lot of religions have used this as a way to, we can take advantage of these people because they're not Muslim,
Goya,
or Goya, but and I'm pretty sure the Catholics and the Christians. No, I'm asking both.
I'm just putting it out there.
But I'm asking both of you guys because I know for a fact the Christians did this, and the Catholics or whatever the hell it is, right?
Yo, we need to read the Talmud. Like that's what we need to do. We have to show a podcast where all of us start reading the Talmud and then like having commentary over it.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to Islam and Christianity, again, the actions of people aren't representative of, or the actions of when you're in charge aren't representative of the entire religion. And so therefore, if you basically got a scenario where you're in charge, no, according to Islam, all man is equal, irrespective of race, religion, and creed. You treat them the same. Now, what happens is people misconstrue this concept of jizya. And
I ain't paying no jizya. I ain't paying no jizya.
You're paying it right now.
I ain't paying shit.
You're paying. Are we all paying jizya to your
No, I don't. Well, again, I ain't doing it. You might be. I ain't. I pay taxes, but I don't pay to a Muslim caliphate, which is who would actually charge me a jizya. So here's basically what it comes down to. With Sharia law,
Right.
all non-Muslims have to pay a tax. So you under the Ottoman Empire, which is very lenient in my opinion.
Crusades, by the way.
You know, when it came, the Ottomans were very lenient. As a matter of fact, if I was to think of a country that was closest to the United States of America throughout the world's history, throughout human history, it wouldn't be the UK. It would be the Ottoman Empire because they have a lot of different religious groups. And when the Ottomans conquered, they would let people keep their religion. They would just charge them a jizya.
Yeah.
So here's the point.
That's a very Roman thing.
Something like that. So here's the thing. When
Many
it comes
empires
down
did.
to
Many successful
empires.
empires.
I agree. I like how you put successful in there. But when it comes down to it, you have to understand that I'm not paying a jizya.
Okay, let me answer that question. There's two parts to it, right? First of all, when you talk about jizya or taxation, many would argue that right now we are paying jizya, but it's to the Jews, right? Because what is the taxation, or the Zionists or whatever you want to call it, right? So what is the taxation system? But basically, who we're paying taxes to? Right? We're paying it to the government, and we know who the elite are and who's behind it. Also, in reality,
why are you guys looking at me, man? I don't understand. Why are you guys looking at me, man? I don't wear shit.
Y'all over here talking about the caliphate,
right? And then the second thing is in terms of jizya. Look, this is completely misconstrued. I actually was writing an academic paper on this back in the day. So, what jizya is a taxation system where you're basically incorporated as part of the empire. Now, what the taxation system is just like non-Muslims paid what you call jizya taxation. The Muslims still paid their own taxation. It was
Muslims paid less.
No, actually, that's not true.
No, so, Muslims paid less, and the jizya was higher for non-believers.
No, it's not. So
that is why the way it was in the Ottoman Empire.
No, it wasn't.
In the Ottoman Empire,
there was told if you were foreign and stuff to go through a land.
It was varied. It varied. So some did pay less, but others paid more. So it depended. It depended. Actually, did like I was writing.
They're gonna let their conquered opponents pay less taxes than their actual subjects.
No, because everyone was conquered, right? But you mean Muslims to non-Muslims, right?
Exactly.
So there were certain areas where they played the same amount as what jizya was.
I'm sure it's very small.
But there was some. And so in reality, what jizya is basically a contractual agreement that, look, you're going to become part of the empire. You're not going to be conquered. Your land's not going to be taken over. It's like basically a contractual agreement, which happened. So it wasn't like a two-tier system. It was like your land being incorporated into the empire. So that's what jizya was, which is actually literally completely different to now. Because if you look at it now, what is the taxation we're paying? So at that time, I believe jizya in certain areas was like 8%.
No, I get that. I get that.
Now,
different times.
Could that country leave if they wanted to, or that territory?
No, they'll get
because this is the exact same system the fucking Aztecs had. I literally watched a video this morning about the Aztecs. They ran the same system, except if you didn't fall in line, you would get fucking destroyed.
Get scalped.
No,
that's the whole point. So
wait. That's the whole point.
That is the whole point, because at that time, when empires are expanding, you basically go, for example, now when the Brits, when they went to India, if you look at it, there wasn't mass slaughter. Why wasn't there mass slaughter in India? Because the Indians kind of gave up.
No, I'm not attacking you for this because I'm with you. Look, doesn't matter. Everyone did it. Absolutely, everybody did that to a certain extent. Some just completely decided just to break them down and assimilate. Other ones, no, keep your religion, keep your people, but you're going to pay us something. And if you don't give us soldiers, you don't give us people. We're going to fuck you up. But everyone did this. Everyone did this.
This is part of the system. I'm just saying,
every empire
did this.
No matter what.
To some extent, to some level of like.
Actually, I would say this was probably the most humane way of doing it, because if you go to another country and you're basically saying that, look, we'll incorporate as part of the empire. We're not going to murder you. We're not going to rape your women. We're not going to steal everything for you. You just need to pay a taxation system, right?
They do it at first, and then when they put up the white flag, then they offer terms.
No. In terms of fighting.
Yeah, I get. After the fighting's over.
Yeah. So not always. Sometimes the agreement
they give up before they start fighting. So let me give you an example of how this actually works. Say you buy a house. Okay. It's your house, your land. What happens if you don't pay taxes on that property for a couple of years?
It's not yours.
Exactly. So this is the same type of system that the jizya was giving. Yeah, it's yours and yours, but if you don't actually pay up, we're taking that shit.
Yeah, if you ain't paying the good old boys, you lose it. If you ain't paying the whatever you want, the Jews, you ain't keeping it. You ain't paying the fucking caliphate, you ain't keeping it. It's whoever's holding the reins on that land or territory.
Right now, you're not playing America. And what is America? America is either a Christian country, which is many claim is run by Jewish people or Zionists or whatever it may be. But for example, your taxation system is completely horrific. Like I had people telling me, oh my God, Florida is amazing. I was like, what's the taxation? I think I was told it was like 37.5% on the
That's federal. Yeah,
I mean,
it's no state
federal.
tax.
It's
federal.
every
That's
federal.
crazy. 37%.
No, I'm with you. Okay,
Bro.
I am with you on this. Yes, it's freaking ridiculous.
You're earning that money and then giving it to the caliphate, as you call it.
But
this time it's America.
But
I mean, it's not like the UK is much better. Bro.
No, we are better. So our taxation is 20%.
No,
it's 20%.
bro. I've got enough. I got enough people in the UK telling me, man, that stop. You know, they're fucking running. They're running to Dubai, bro.
Socialists, bro.
Any man,
they got fucking millionaire tax over there. All this other shit.
No. So
bro.
UK taxation system is like 20% up until you earn about £40,000, which is about $50,000, and then after that it's 40%.
but you can't live on that.
40%.
Yeah.
But
40%.
It's like America. It's
I
the
ain't
worst.
paying no 40%.
Brother, you cannot die on this hill. UK versus
no.
Stop, bro.
The UK.
No, but
There's better things to talk. There's better things to talk about, bro.
I don't think UK is brilliant. Don't get me wrong. It's the same. It's the system's the same. But my point is, like, even in the UK, you can set up a company and pay less percentage. I guess it'll be same here as well. But my point is,
the worker gets fucked and the corporations get tax cuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the point is, coming back to all of it, we're all paying tax, right?
Yeah.
We're all paying a huge amount of tax.
So we're all paying taxes to pedophiles, right?
We're paying jizya, right?
But it's not religious tax.
So, I mean,
it's not religious tax.
Shout out to Money Gang Crypto, man. My UK expat.
Shalom, brother. I get it.
I literally just had a UK expat that just broke down the whole tax code for us, and he just said, "Run away." I mean, it was as soon as you can. I mean, because that's crazy. I mean, they have somewhat. I mean, it's a
fucking police state. They got cameras everywhere.
They're not even televising all the fucking riots right now.
Honestly, in what country within the UK would I go to jail for my tweets? In which one?
Well, I mean, I agree with that. I think I have a problem with the UK becoming a police state significantly. Before the riots
I feel safer in Russia.
I literally was probably the only person on Twitter, on social media, when everybody else was like playing their own teams or literally get manipulated by social media. I was
what do you mean by teams? Like the political teams, or like what do you mean the religious teams?
Political teams. Yeah, it wasn't really a religious thing. It was more of a political thing, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Or racial thing, or whatever you want to call it.
Because I found out about you through, of course, Fresh and Fit, and through Myron, and then GG right here. Shout out to Fresh. But can you give people a little bit of your background in terms of like I know we're like now about
33 who came up.
Oh,
that's 33. His background.
Yeah, but can you give people a little? I mean, like how you think of Twitter, like how you think of Twitter. Like, what's your background, brother?
So, like, my background's academic.
Okay.
So basically, I've got a degree in law. Then I became a maths teacher. Then I did an MA in philosophy, and I was doing my PhD in philosophy. So I've written like quite a lot of articles in the past. Okay. And then I was running like a school. And then basically I started the Twitter thing in around December 2022, January 2023.
Oh, okay.
I always had an account, but then I just started doing it properly. So initially I looked into the Tate case. So a lot of people were attacking Tate.
Yeah.
So I was the only one who was like defending basically.
And these are the lawsuits from the UK that were trying to extradite.
At that time it was Romania.
Oh, Romania.
Yeah,
okay.
At that time they'd been basically incarcerated based on allegations in Romania. So anyway, I was like one of the only ones defending them. So I started blowing up quite a lot. And then I went to America. And while I was in America, I spoke to a few sources. And then quite a lot of the case got blown up because of like some of the investigations I did. So I became quite big then. I think I got like within a short period of time, like 100,000 followers. And then October 7th happened. And then again, I was pro-Palestine. And at that time, when I made the decision to like support Palestine, and to do it significantly, I thought there's a very good chance I'd get cancelled. Right. And I actually thought most people are going to be pro-Israel, like at that time, because you just don't know how it's going to fall, right? And especially because you know all the social medias are.
Them boy memes are powerful, brother.
Sorry?
Them boy memes are powerful, bro.
Which boy memes?
No, them boys.
Oh, okay,
them boy memes are powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
But so, can I just say one thing in terms of like the U.S. side of this? As from the white boys to the Hispanics and just the good chunk of the United States, right? Most Americans are I mean, they obviously don't know much that's going on over there, if I'm being really honest. But
most Americans don't know what's going on
outside of their own fucking town, right? Most guys don't even know what their girl's doing. You know what
Hi, Destiny.
But the average American really just, honestly, I've talked to enough people who are like, where they just don't care. They want both countries to just shut the fuck up. They don't care. They just don't want to hear it anymore. Like at the average American, now it's whatever's going down there is pretty fucked up, obviously, and this is where like the whole thing is like, I'm just tired of seeing kids getting fucking blown up and getting hurt. I mean, both sides. I don't like schools getting targeted.
Now you fix this. You know how you fix this? Vote Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Vote Donald Trump. You do that, you fix this, he will get this war done as soon as he's president within a month. Ukraine ends, this ends, and then we can have peace by the end, and then we can start singing Kumbaya.
I mean, I'm not sure about in terms of American demographics. I do see a lot of people protesting. I do travel a lot of America, and a lot of them are actually quite surprisingly pro-Palestine, especially. But in terms of
that's a very loud minority.
Okay,
very loud minority, because the majority is very silent and doesn't care.
And then I guess that shows like the UK is a lot more educated, because the UK we have like
because but you know what they mean by education though? It's just they just means they travel to fucking Europe.
Yeah,
which is like the size of a fucking peanut.
No, it's not about travel. So like for example, now you've got 30 to 40 million adults in the UK, roughly. And of them in one weekend, for example, we had 1.3 million people protest. 1.3 million. And the UK in itself, we've had millions.
And they were protesting what exactly?
Protesting against the genocide that's happening in Palestine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the UK population is significantly for it, to the extent where the Zionist-controlled government.
But was that mostly the Muslims in the country?
No, it wasn't. I would say the vast majority of protesters, nearly 80-90%, were actually non-Muslim. Because remember, the UK is the Muslim population in the UK is only 6%.
What's in the United States?
The UK Muslim population.
Yeah, in the United States.
It's about 3 to 7 million.
So it's bigger in the UK percentage-wise.
Proportionally, yeah.
Yeah, much bigger, correct?
For sure.
Okay, so maybe that has something to do with why they're much more pro-Palestine than people in America.
Maybe they're a lot more educated, because the vast majority of people.
You're right. The vast 7%. 7%.
Yeah, 6.5, I think it is.
Not sure about educated is the right word.
No, because it is. They're geopolitically aware, right? And so what happens?
Well, they're closer to it too. I mean,
listen. To say that the UK is better than anything that Americans do is blasphemy.
No, I'm not saying they're better. But one point is,
why? Can we stop? But like, just because they're educated about this one thing, but that's just because you care about it, and now they're educated. It's like if you knowing about fucking. I mean, if we're into Jersey, I know this is not fair, but like if we care about Jersey Shore, like we're educated on Jersey Shore, and like you wouldn't know the fuck about that. And obviously that's fucking stupid. That's stupid.
I mean, there's a lot.
I wouldn't call that education.
No, but that's what we're talking about. But some people could say, but like, and I look,
knowledge.
I'm standing on a very stupid hill right here. I'm standing on a very stupid hill here.
Go over to like any college and university grounds, right? There is protests for Palestine and all that.
For sure.
So there is plenty in both sides. It's just proportionally, I don't know.
But like, but the America has gone much more on the on not just conservative, but just the conspiracy theory, right? I mean, just enough conspiracy theories have happened in the internet. This is why they're trying to shut down the internet and everything. They're trying to.
Good luck
on that. But like, I mean, the moment that they started trying to arrest people in the UK for tweets and reposts, America stood with the UK on that.
Oh, who wrote that tweet? What UK person wrote that tweet? Well, you know what I'm talking about? What UK person said? Americans, you can't say whatever you want. We will extradite you to the UK.
It was the minister of something.
It was the minister of something, man. Yeah. Listen, to that bitch, come fucking get me.
So let me like tell you what the circumstance of that is.
Please.
So in terms of, like I said, there was a huge amount of pro-Palestinian protests right at the beginning. Yes. And so what happened was they wanted to shut them down. So people like Suella Braverman, who's married to an Israeli IDF agent, people like Rishi Sunak, people like Priti Patel, the various people in the government, they wanted to shut it down, to the extent where even some protests, like for example, one woman protester had a picture of a coconut. Coconut means basically black on the inside, white on the inside. Oh, sorry, black on the outside, white on the inside.
Oreo. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, Oreo. Right, so they used
pumpkin.
Yeah, so they had a picture of a coconut with an image of Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman on in the protest. They got arrested. Right. So this was happening very early on because they wanted to shut it down. They wanted to, and Suella Braverman said she wants to ban protests and she wants to ban all speech against the Zionist state. Right. So then what happened was, but the UK public won't allow it because they're all for Palestine, largely speaking. As I said, I give the example of the protest. So what they did was these protests, which were initiated by Tommy Robinson, who is linked to the Zionists, and so what he does is he perpetuated these protests in a significant manner. They lied about the person who did the stabbing. They lied that he was a Muslim. They lied that he was came on a boat a year before. They lied that he was an illegal immigrant, and they caused these riots.
So what's that to do with Americans?
I'm about to explain.
Okay.
But these riots were perpetuated on social media
Mhm.
by many right-wing accounts, which originate in the US. For example, people like Libs of TikTok, people like Elon Musk, people like Ian Chung, even though he's not in here, people like Rebel News. All of these guys perpetuated the end of wokeness. All of them are like Zionist, Jewish accounts originating in the US. And so what they did was they caused a lot of these riots in the UK. So they use this to censor speech. They use this to ban. They're going to use this in the future, watch, to ban protests. Because the aim has always been, since those original protests, to basically end free speech.
Now they have the excuse.
And now they've got the excuse. So I called it up at the beginning. I said, look, this is what's going to happen. But obviously people are too dumb.
Right. So what you're basically saying, the people in power are pro-Israel and the people are for Palestine.
Exactly.
But
okay,
so that's up to a point. Now, do you think, the conspiracy theory time, do you think that basically they started seeing that the populace was going towards Palestine? So do you think that they possibly used Muslims or whatever to start I want to call it like a race war or like anything about religion, but basically making like people mad at brown or black people in the UK in order to like kind of muddle the entire image? Because that's what if I'm just thinking complete conspiracy theory, like that makes a lot of sense, because I've stopped seeing the whole Palestine thing from the UK. It just sort of seems like we're sick of these Muslims in the country.
No, yeah.
In the UK.
But that's not the case. This is what I'm trying to say. So like, for example, if you look at the UK, you basically got this guy. So it wasn't the Muslims who started it. It was this guy from Rwanda. Basically, his parents are from Rwanda. He's born in UK. He's a Christian guy who actually did the stabbing. They lied and said he was a Muslim guy to get Muslim. Tommy Robinson, who is a Zionist-controlled agent, basically lied and said he was a Muslim guy to create Muslim hatred. The next day, there was another guy who came with a knife. He was actually a white Christian guy, but they lied that he was a Muslim guy to, again, perpetuate Muslim hate. And so it was basically orchestrated. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's actually fact. They orchestrated this to cause these basically riots. So then these people start rioting, start attacking police officers. Basically what BLM were doing in the US, they did it in the UK. Now, in certain areas,
Soros.
So in certain areas, what happened was there was some Muslims who came out to defend themselves. So then there was these kind of fights.
So there was a video of like,
which you saw in a couple of areas, but not many, because a lot of these rioters, they didn't go to areas where there was a large proportion of Muslims, because in some areas there is a large proportion of, for example, they didn't go to London because they knew that in London, like, they're going to get battered, right? So they went to areas where it was vastly outnumbered,
What's the percentage of Muslims in London?
In London, it's 15%.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little much higher there.
That's a pretty big percentage.
It is, I mean,
I do think it's a lot higher than you, because this is from 2021. It is 6.5, like you said.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, because they're actually having kids.
A
lot of kids, right? I would imagine it's probably closer to 7 now, or a little higher.
7,
because that's 3 years. That's 3 years.
And remember, there's been a population collapse amongst the white populace, because in the UK,
they don't have babies anymore.
They don't have kids, and in the UK, Christianity's died, right?
So, what was that?
Christianity's died in the UK.
Wow.
Because what happened was, again, people
they're Protestant there, but
they are as the US, So
more Christian. It's Christian.
It's a mixture, but
no. But in the US, it's the majority is Protestant.
It's Christian.
It's Christian. There's
Catholic.
Catholic.
Christian.
A Christian is Protestant, right?
Well, when people say Christian, they mean like that. It's
kind of
like there's the houses.
Yes, exactly.
There's the houses.
But if you look at Christianity in the US, from Christianity, when you look at the Protestants and the Catholics, there's more Protestants than Catholics in the US, right? Significantly.
I'd have to look it up, but there's more Protestants. There's more Protestants east of the Mississippi. Like,
so basically, in the West, so in America and Western Europe, there's more Protestants, and then swing it around. In, like, for example, South America, there's more Catholics compared to Protestants. That's
true. That's true in South America.
Yeah. So, but in the US, there's much more. This is a Protestant country. America traditionally is a Protestant country, right? Catholics have always been the minority. I forgot what we come on to that point, but my point is, coming back to it, I don't even know what point we were making, but anyway.
Hold on. When you actually like forget your thoughts, you're supposed to like basically milk it. You're supposed to milk it, bro. You can't say that you forgot your thoughts.
I forgot the point. I've got so many points to make.
Go with this. You can't do that.
No, you're wrong. What you do is you say, I forgot my point, and then the interview is meant to be like,
no, you change the subject. You change the subject. That's what you do.
No, we changed the subject, but I mean, like, but we were on the whole vein. We're on this whole kind of vein of going. I mean, I think the original thing we were talking about, like, what is educated versus not educated, right? Yeah.
No, well, my point about the UK is when also I was talking about population collapse. So so why Christianity's died in the UK is, just think about this. In 2011, there were 75% Christians, right? In 2021, just in 10 years, it's 45%.
Bunch of atheists.
Minority.
Now,
So 30%.
Yeah.
But that 30% didn't go to Islam.
No, no, no.
That 30% went to atheism. So
Yep.
atheism took over. But the reason why in the UK atheism took over is because people like Tommy Robinson, the far-right Islamophobes, attacked Islam. You know why they attacked Islam? Based on monotheistic values. They said, oh my God, these guys are against LGBTQ. These guys are against feminism. These guys are against all of these ideologies. And what they did was, both from the right and the left, they basically made Christianity die, because them values are in Christianity as well. Yeah. But what happens then is people then move away from them ideas. So they were a big component of why Christianity died in the UK. Remember, the UK is a country, unlike the US, which actually had fought for religion. They fought religious wars. They fought against the pagans. And yet now Christianity is a minority.
Christianity is dying everywhere. Let's be honest. It's not just
but not
here.
as fast in the US, right?
No, not as fast, but it's dying here.
But
Listen,
they've been pushing atheism forever.
Sorry?
They've been pushing atheism forever, at least in Western media, for a long time.
But it's not dropped much. I believe in the US in 10 years, it only dropped like 5 to 8%. Yeah. So that's nothing.
It's not,
I think it's dropped around women a lot higher percentage, because women used to, believe in, in family and stuff like that. Feminism did a number on religion, and they're much more feminized in the UK than they are in America. That's number one. Number two, I believe the UK by percentage has more whores than any other. No, I'm being dead serious.
More butterfly tattoos.
More whores, more butterfly tattoos than any other nation state. So the UK's got its problems. It's a failed state. It's a collapsed empire. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think much of the UK. I'd rather live in Russia personally. Putin.
Yeah, obviously.
Shout out to Ton Number.
Disagree with that.
But no, so okay, so I mean, I'm with you. This whole birthing collapse and stuff like that. I think actually the way I think, I mean, if I know how I think the world's kind of going in a certain way, I do think at some point a lot of the Muslim countries, because they are westernizing, even though not to like a crazy extent with, because they're being a lot stronger but I agree. They are weak. The reins are it's weakening a little bit.
I agree.
And so I think population will, I mean, it's going to slow down there too, but but you guys are way more ahead in terms of having kids than the West is. It's fucking crazy. I mean, fucking South Korea is like dead now. I mean, they're
Japan.
Why do you think?
That one's, well, obviously they have their own type of religion. I'm not entirely sure what religion
it's wealth.
It's wealth.
When people have money, they have less kids.
Yeah,
and women, education of women.
That's what it is. So in reality, I'll tell you what it is. So South Korea's population collapse is worse than the US and the UK. So for example, South Korea and Japan is 0.5 and 0.8 birth rate per child. Now, what's the reason for it? Some say, as he said, modernity, but we do have modernity in the UK. We have modernity in the US. So what is our maternity 3x better than South Korea's? No. In reality, that is a factor, but there's actually multiple factors. Modernity, in my view, there's also a lack of religion. When you have a lack of religion, lack of monotheistic values, you're not having children. The other one is complete, like literally, it's a lesbian state, because like none of these women,
lesbians. What?
Yeah. How many South Korean women are getting with South Korean guys?
No, but that's not lesbianism. What are you talking about, lesbianism?
How many South Korean women are getting with South Korean men?
I mean, still some, but
hold on.
If they're not getting with the men,
he's like a walking encyclopedia. But how the fuck do you know how many South Korean women are gay with South Korean men? Where'd you find this statistic?
No, I'm telling you now.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
I'm more stuck on the lesbian.
Where'd you find the statistic?
No. I'll explain why.
Yeah. Because betrayal. Yeah. There's a lot. There's more. There's more inbreed. I mean, not inbreeding, but there's more what's called breeding outside the race and stuff. Like more like.
Well, that's the problem. It's not happening that much. So what's happening in reality in South Korea is this, right? So South Korea, the women are not getting with the men, right? And so
who are they getting with?
Exactly.
They're still getting fucked. No, but stop. They're still getting fucked. But they're still getting fucked.
No, they're not. So if you look at South Korea and Japan, there's a significant, you talk about incel culture in the US and UK.
No, yeah, their incel culture is it's
insane. You've been there, right?
Yeah. No, I've not been there, but I've read about it. Yeah.
So it's significantly worse, right? It's horrifically bad. Like they have a culture, incel culture, which is a million times worse, even to the extent where they, you know, when we talk about OnlyFans or we talk about all these things, they have things like that, but much worse. Like, for example, they'll go to coffee shops, and in the coffee shops, you know, like you guys got Hooters. Is it Hooters?
Yeah.
They'll have that version,
yeah,
but much worse, where a man will just go there drinking tea just in the hopes that he'll be served by the man.
It's a much bigger sim culture,
exactly,
and OnlyFans sort of culture before OnlyFans. Yeah, no, yes, I'm with
and if you look at a lot of the manga, like if you look at Japanese, manga, sorry, a lot of it initially used to not be like this. Now, if you look at it, a lot of it's LGBTQ.
Yeah. I will agree on that. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
What enemies y'all
The
watching?
MAGA in Japan is LGB.
Yeah.
So the
what
people,
magas you be
wait.
They
The
sprinkle
people
it in.
who
The manga
support
comics.
Trump. Again, I want to make
manga. It's
manga.
The comics.
Manga is like the comics, like
You talking-
anime, basically.
I'm very lost in the
Okay,
enemies and mangas y'all talking about right now.
I'm very happy.
It's true.
They're not like Trump supporters over there.
Because
who are
usually the only
fucking with
lesbian
that
shit these
rainbow
bitches
flag.
do is because they're lesing out and they're gonna fuck the main character as well as part of the concubine. But like, because like that's actually what's going on there, and because as a subject expert here on these animes, like
on many things,
on many things, but like legitimately they're all basically male fantasies. Most of the manga and animes are male fantasies, and most of them are basically the big ones are going what are they called, Kyle, when you basically isekais, right? Isekais is the big thing around. Basically, I'm a fucking I'm just a loser. I fucked up my life, and like a truck hits me a truck-kun hits me, I die, I wake up in a medieval world. And then basically, I have powers, and I still have my knowledge, and it's like this entire fantasy where you get to restart your life over again.
It sounds like these prophets on Twitter.
Just believe on me, send your money, right?
I don't know. It's kind of troubling that you guys know so much about this, and I never even heard about this in my life.
Oh, it's
like, what the fuck?
It's called being well read.
Yo, I don't know about this. It's called about looking at shit.
Yo, the milkers are well read, bro. No, but that's the big thing, is because you're right. They do have a very closed off culture. They're much more timid, lower. I mean everything.
Yeah,
bro. I mean like everything. Testosterone low.
Yeah.
Cucked out. I mean it's and obviously and then they have cultures that are very they're working them to the fucking bone as well. It's very hardcore work culture.
True.
They did because a lot of them took a lot of the classic
slaves.
Yeah, it's slave. They took a lot of the actual the work culture they kind of had in the States back in the 50s and stuff, because they modeled. I mean, the whole systems were modeled after it was like it was basically modeled after the World War II systems the United States had, and then that was put into place, and then from there they just molded it to however the fuck they had it, they wanted to.
They need reparations, brother.
Yeah, because I mean and then the reasons they allowed more natural capitalism to happen in Japan. This is why in Japan it's doing a lot better than South Korea, where in South Korea they went more for total monopolies. Absolute
Samsung.
monopoly. Samsung, LG,
Yeah.
they're actually lords. They own everything. Absolutely. Basically, you're a fucking loser if you don't work for Samsung or LG. Like if you don't
Shout
do well on your
out
test.
Samsung.
Shout out Samsung, baby.
Samsung with the phone over here.
Apple's out here
Apple
lagging.
don't got this.
Apple's lagging behind.
Apple
Yeah,
gang.
right there, baby.
And
Traitor. Where's your American phone? I thought you were all about America.
Yo, man. Tim Cook is a homosexual, so I can't really support that. But I mean, to be honest, if I want to be honest, here's my Apple.
Okay.
No, so the Apple got the mirror in the back. So I hope that makes the LGBTs in fucking California all happy.
But it's a bunch of fantasies. Like, and it basically they're not going up. Also, this is a big thing. Shout out to Michael Sartain and a lot of the guys in the Red Pill. But it's also this whole thing too, because women men make the rules for women, women make the rules for men, right? In the larger sense. And obviously, if you look at the whole religious thing, right? I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about if left people to their own devices, it's the women choose top men, and then the top men compete against each other to get the pecking order, and then basically women fuck the winners, right?
So 80% of women have babies, but yet only 60% of men have babies. What does that tell you?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah,
It's less than that.
Yeah, probably.
So
I mean,
I'm
rounding it up.
If you look at the entire history of man, actually, it's 1 to 16. So if you look at the DNA that's passed on from time to time, for every 16 women, only one man's DNA has been passed on.
Genghis Khan's got about 10% of everybody, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then there was this whole thing during like the Ice Age if I believe it, if not the Ice Age, just the facts are saying that like the average guy who did have kids, that's a big distinction.
Yeah.
Had 2 kids, one with one woman, one with another woman. That was the average. A woman would have 1 to 2 kids on average. But it was like
Who
something
survived,
like that survived. There was like 95% of women had at least 1 child, 95, and then obviously there's ones that had way more. And then it changed as we went from hunter to gatherer to extra societies and stuff, and you could actually have way more. But still, you're right. It's always like the women not choosing the bottom rung is like how basically the whole we evolve or whatever, or we change as a species, or traits get passed on.
What we call those are GG33 haters.
Yes. The Smurfs, the black pill, yes. But the non-triers, right? But that's but what's going on now is that this is just like Twitter's changed your life and stuff like this and all this stuff. Social media's changed my life, but it's also fucked and warped our perception, both not just in the Christian world, but the Muslim world, everything. It's this phone, these apps, this Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube has like warped our entire minds, because we can't we basically can't can you imagine, like, I mean, I grew up playing in playgrounds and riding bicycles outside. Now there's tablet kids, right? And this isn't I imagine if it isn't in every country, it's going to be in every country. And sure, like the tablet might be in whatever language it is, and it might be teaching kids about their personal religions or whatever, but they're still on the tablet no matter what. And at some point they're going to figure out a way to get off and into the video games or into the fucking media and stuff that they want to see. But that's the main thing that's fucked it up, really, is feminism. And then the other side is basically women and guys seeing the other life. So you're seeing people who are dead broke pretending that they're rich. You're seeing their friends.
IG's full of those motherfuckers.
IG is full of that, right?
So is Miami.
Yeah, Miami's a big one, man. I mean, I've said this on Fresh and Fit before, where like, people will save all year just to be a baller for a weekend in Miami. They'll rent the Lambo, they'll pop in bottles, and then go back home on fucking Spirit.
Yep.
Dead broke.
I mean, I'll take Spirit, but I need the big C in the front.
Yeah, you need the big C.
Well, I'll take Spirit.
Spirit has saved my ass a couple times because sometimes it's the only airline.
Only direct one, or all these other ones are cheap.
So I'm not shitting on it, but I'm just trying to say this whole
anything's
thing.
better than Frontier, though.
Correct. Fuck Frontier.
Frontier's so shit.
Fuck Frontier. Mortal Enemy. I hate that fucking airline. They fucked me out of 2 flights already.
Same. Two times too.
Fuck Frontier. But it's just this whole thing of like, envy, it's just the seal of joy. I mean, like, women are just seeing the kind of lives. If all they saw on social media were people living like a modest life, having family and stuff, those good virtues, then that's what they would aspire to. But they're being shown all this horrible shit. And the same thing now, at least from what I've seen from friends who are, Muslim and stuff, and whatever, and their social medias, they're still being shown. I mean, women that are still like, the women are being shown materialism still. There's still I still at the very least do see a lot of family stuff going on, at least over there in terms of their social media, but I still see the materialism, and that leads into bad places over time. It's just going in a much slower rate. Where in America you're seeing so fuck the family, it's all about me. I need to ball out, I need to have other things. What is like, I want 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund, works in finance. That's like the meme here, right? Or
$500,000 a year.
$500,000 a year, yeah. It used to be 6 figures, 6-pack, 6 foot tall.
Yep.
And you better have more than a 6-inch cock.
Yeah.
I got 3 of the 4.
So,
Wait.
So yeah, I mean, I do think that materialism is a problem because what it does is it's not good for like the soul or whatever it may be.
Well, just the mental.
But at the same time, there is that need, because what happens is if you're basically aspire not to be brilliant, or you don't aspire to be the best, or you don't aspire to be rich, or you don't aspire to be well off, I think that causes a problem as well, because what it does is it basically it stops progress within a culture, stops progress within a society. And so,
but it was originally used, like we evolved this, or we were given this by God to compare ourselves to our surroundings. And now we're showing surroundings that most people can't get, or it's another part of the world, or a completely different life, or a different person from a different country and a different religion doing a certain lifestyle, and then they think that's normal. And that's what I'm talking about. It could be like just to bring some, like as an example, like it could be a person from Israel that lives in a completely different country that's doing very well. That person from Israel is like, that doesn't make sense. Like, but she looks like me, or like he looks like me, so I could get that. And that's the whole thing. I tell this to a lot of my buddies who like want to start a YouTube channel.
So you're basically telling people that IG is selling them dreams.
Yeah,
So
well, for a lot of people,
yeah,
for a lot of people, it is strange.
False hope, brother. False hope.
No, it doesn't. But the same thing, like, but if you don't give up and you really, if you really strive for a goal, if you really want it, and you really pray, but you act and you work towards it, you can get really far. You can get things. You really can. But there's some people who, like, a lot of people just like wishing for it to happen, praying for it to happen, and not doing anything to get it.
No, but I agree with what you're saying. So what you're basically saying is, when one sees this kind of like materialistic, generally speaking, unachievable lifestyle for the vast majority, which has happened. Because look, if there's like, I don't know, hundreds of millions of people, or even tens of millions of people who are aspiring to be like, for example, Andrew Tate, right? And so we know like 99.9% of them aren't going to make it, right?
But then easy.
Right. So 99.9% of them aren't going to make it. So the question becomes, there's two aspects to look at. One is that, was it a good thing for them 99.9% to aspire to even be like that because they progressed more than they were gonna? Or is it a negative that those people, when they realize that they can't achieve it, it'll cause even more problems in life? So those possibilities.
And that's the two spectrums. That's like the guys who take, like, using the red pill as an example. The red pill, basically, red pill and black pill guys are almost the same. It's just one has hope and one doesn't. The black pillers lost hope.
What exactly is black pill?
Basically, they've the original term is basically they've found out how sexual dynamics between men and women work. They're like, okay, this is what it is. Oh, I'm butt ugly. I'm poor. I'm super short. I'm fucked. I guess I'm gonna give up on life. I fucking hate how women, they usually get very angry, or they're very depressed, or they kill themselves. There's this whole spec. Basically, it's just
black pill gets suicided.
Very suicidal, or very lashing out angry. It's and you have a version of the red pill as well, where like it basically, the way I always like to look at them, one has hope and still aspires to, like, even though these are the bad cards I was given, even though it's not bad cards, but these are the fucking shitty cards I got, I'm gonna keep striving to get better.
I'm gonna upgrade.
Which is good. But there's people that just decide to give up. Thankfully it's a small amount of people.
So I mean, I see your definition. The way I see black pill and red pill is, one is just like ultra optimistic,
and one
is pessimistic, right?
Yes, pessimistic.
So in reality, like I think I'm a lot more pessimistic, because I think a lot of times, like, look, in reality, when you look at it, people are messed up. People aren't as good as you say. For example, you talk about red pill. Like, even when you look at like men and women dynamics, in reality, like, for example, I know as much as what the red pill and white pill say. Black pill say. The red pill, like, they say, oh, like, a woman, she aspires to look for wealth. She doesn't literally care about sex, or she doesn't care about things. In reality,
American woman, stay away from me. Because that's what all American women are.
So the only difference between a man and a woman in reality is this: both do actually care about sex. Both do look for looks. Both do care about aesthetics. But the only difference is, a woman is deceitful. So what she will do is, she will marry the rich fat guy, and then you just cheat with like a good-looking young guy. That's the reality.
I haven't really heard lies yet. I mean, this all sounded like facts. I mean, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. But there is also one too, like, there's also this whole thing too, where like they could just be doing good decisions because they were brought up right, and then they don't know the other side. And they still, it leads. This is like the whole point. Like, this is something that was argued in, I would say, kind of like early 2000s a lot, which is like of why do people want a traditional woman? Because the traditional values. It's also because the guys and the way they think and stuff, right? Is the way they're thinking about it is like, she'll know less. So like, there's the same reason. It's the same sort of reason why, like, I think Andrew Tate would say, like, you're not gonna find these fucking hometown, these 8 or 9 out of 10 chicks in a fucking small village because they got Instagram now, right? Which is true, you know. Sartain said this as well, but you know, the reason when somebody wants a traditional woman is because they have traditional values, and also they're a part of their psyche is being protected away from some of these bad things that could influence them to become more materialistic or more on that sort of side.
What's going to influence them to be worse women? That's what I'm trying to say. You have to keep these women away from these whores. My wife said it the best. She made a tweet the other day. She said married women should not have girlfriends. Period.
So I mean, the reality of why people want traditional women is religion, but really in reality it's biological. So if you look at it from an evolutionary,
not sure about religion.
If you look at it from an evolutionary perspective, a man wants it where he dominates that woman, that she doesn't go elsewhere. So if you think about it just from a psychological perspective,
widow her,
if you look at it from a psychological perspective, right? Just imagine you're with a woman. The study's done this, and the woman walks away. She goes to the bathroom. After about a certain amount of time, I believe it's 30 seconds. I can't remember the exact number. A man will start looking like, where's his woman gone, right? And that's because evolutionary, what used to happen was, there was a risk that, like, for example, if a woman went to, like, went to the forest to urinate or went away from the herd, that another guy would come and basically have a relationship.
Chastity belts fix that.
So in reality, it's actually evolutionary that a man actually wants a traditional woman, because his hope is that by having a traditional woman, that she's not going to cheat on him. She's going to have values from a religion or from other things,
astrology.
maybe innate morality or whatever it may be. But that's the reason for it.
Can I ask you one thing? So,
because a man doesn't want to bring up somebody else's woman, a child, right?
Or someone else's kids.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Because in data shows again that 20% of men in the UK, I believe it's UK or US, I can't remember which one, bring up children that aren't theirs. And that's
compulsory.
I think it's higher than that. I think it's higher than that.
No, and that's no, it is higher than that. Because in reality, when you look at the
you're right. It is higher than that.
Because in reality, where does that 20% figure come from? It comes from this, that basically a man has to ask the woman permission to take a paternity test. So it's basically a woman who is so confident that the paternity test is going to go her way that she agrees to it. And think about all the women.
Stupid bitch.
Think about
Can you imagine?
Exactly.
So 7% of them are fucking like, they're like
20%. Yeah.
So 20% are. So
I just put a video up on my Twitter. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get banned. But it was basically this old man who was married to this woman for 50 years. And he went in there and says, Your Honor, I wanted to get these kids tested because they look nothing like me. And I've seen people running out the house when I come back from work.
Whoa.
So they tested the first kid. Not his. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. Second kid, not his. Third kid, not his. So again, this is like an 80-year-old man. He's been with this woman for 50 years. And the woman went from, oh, that's a lie. That's not real. That's not possible. Like, don't leave me.
Why did it take him 8 years to decide that?
Because he closed his eyes to it. He was comfortable. He was comfortable.
And disgusting.
He didn't want the truth.
And nobody wants to think that, because I mean that's. But there's also I've seen online a lot. Like this is a natural thing that they use. So this okay. Before I get to this part, because this keeps leading into what I wanted to ask you about was nature versus nurture. How much do you believe in that nature versus nurture? Right. How much do you believe in? Because we say evolution a little bit, right?
Yeah.
How deep into the evolution thing do you believe? Like, do you believe that it's like we are constantly evolving and growing and stuff? Or partly some man-made decisions, other ones more like, we were kind of born like that to want these things.
Yeah.
Like, so where's the line there? Because
I think I mean, putting a percentage on
for you.
Yeah. I think nurture has a significant aspect, as does nature. So nature is the way you're born, your reality of your situation. I think nature has it because, for example, if you look at it, I mean, there's so much proof of it. If you look at it from the physical makeup, if you look at it from a intellect makeup, if you look at it from a physiological, psychological, philosophical makeup, like your genetics have a huge impact on you, and the race has a huge impact on you, but then also your environment has a huge impact on you. So for example, like if you look at my origin, I'm Pakistani origin, right? I'm born in the UK, third generation. Is my development the same as someone from Pakistan who's born there right now? So obviously nurture does have an impact, right? So I think it's like I've not thought about the percentage, but I think both are factors for sure. So I think like my nature is had a huge factor, because there's like a lot of people who are born in the same area as me, same region as me, same society as me, and I've managed to be a lot more successful than they are. So again, both are definitely factors.
No, you're also a 33, so we have to put that into account.
That's is nature. Right?
I would put it like this, man. I still think environment supersedes almost everything else, because
doesn't that go against your whole belief system?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Numerology.
Because if you're a 9 life path and you're adapted to your society, and you're born in Islam, in Mecca, you're going to be a Muslim. If you're born in San Francisco, you're going to be LGBT because they copy society. So again, with some numbers, it hits harder than others, but 33s usually kind of rise to the top somehow.
Somehow. That's nurture, right?
I mean, listen, now you make it sound like a woman sticking out her titty and like a baby's about sucking it. That nurture stuff. I like to talk about environment, and then you can talk about numerology and astrology and things of that nature.
I mean, they have these classic old sayings, like your 5 top people you hang out with and stuff. That's going to be like your average. If they're all millionaires, you're going to be a millionaire, right?
Pretty much you guys.
But it's also on the women. Like you said, on the women's side, it's the same thing too and stuff. If your girlfriend or your wife is all her friends are single, they're gonna try to lead her into being single, or like, why is he saying that? Like, it's just causing problems, right? Like,
I agree with him though. I think even if they're single or married, women are women, right?
Women are women.
So
a woman's worst enemy is a woman.
Exactly. Yeah. So women have got this nature where they're very negative. And so I think when women get together, they'll always cause problems. So
Always.
I agree. I don't care if they're
Always.
married or not married. Everyone's fine.
Always,
Yeah.
bro. Always. Every single
I
time.
love how
man.
all the different religions like yes.
Because it's a universal
We're like,
truth.
yes.
It's a universal truth, man.
Yeah,
Just like when you go like this, you know what it means.
So look, you know, in Islam, right? There was always this thing again, oh, Islam is misogynistic because what happens, the rule is this, that you need 2 female witnesses to 1 male witness. So if an event occurs, you need 2 female witnesses.
And what event would that be? Like cheating or something like that?
Like
or?
any crime,
Oh,
right? In
oh,
court,
okay,
in
okay.
court, 1 female.
Because women lie.
Yeah. So
Are we talking about like a law against like a violent law, or are we talking about like more like a sexual, like a betrayal sexual law?
well, actually, it depends. So like for example,
okay.
adultery, it's even more.
Okay,
But for example, from the legal system, it's 2 female witnesses to 1 male witness.
Okay.
Now,
Should be 3 to 1.
okay, so I mean, I won't disagree, but my point is 2 to 1, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
70. So I logically makes sense for me. I know a lot of people thought it was misogynistic because data showed that women, their recall was much worse after a traumatic event compared to a man. So it makes sense that you do it.
You
But in
sexist.
reality, I mean, that was the nice way of saying it. The reality is women just lie. So you do need 2 female witnesses for 1 male witness.
Listen, I've seen this look in women's eyes when they're fucking mad, and nothing matters anymore. They'll lie about anything.
Oh yeah,
They'll lie about being
they're wrong,
raped.
they'll
They'll
make
lie
up
about
shit.
anything, bro. You know, there's women who were rejected by guys, and then they made up stories that these guys tried to rape them. These guys went to prison.
Yeah.
And then when they get out, no accountability for the female. We really need to start making laws where if the guy could have got 5 years and they found out you lied, now bitch, you're getting 5 years.
I agree.
Or at least
Fuck
2,
all
at
this
least
Me
halftime,
Too shit.
or at least halftime.
No,
Oh, it's the
fuck
same.
all
It should
that.
be
The same.
but
The
Same.
same.
it should be the same. But you know they're gonna cuck it out.
It should be a deterrent.
But the
I
important
mean,
thing
they
is
cook
it's
it out, they
something.
don't give them anything, but yeah, it should be the same.
Repeal 19. I'll say it again. Repeal 19, August 18th, 1920,
Mandatory, look.
the worst day in American history. That's when feminism ran wild in America.
Right. There should be mandatory paternity tests when the baby's born. If you want to be considered the father, you have to take a test.
Yeah.
That should be everywhere. Also,
What-
you
what is
cannot pay child support for a child that's not biologically yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will have to add this
Unless you want to.
unless you want to, but goddamn, it better be a good reason. You know, I mean, but you have to give that choice there. If
Yeah.
if you want, hey, you know, this kid ain't yours, but you know, if you sign on this dotted line, he is financially your responsibility. Are you sure you want to do this? And I don't want no female. It's got to be a fucking man in a suit, brother.
Yeah, I got it.
You sure?
I got it.
All right, here you go. Sign right there. So, Gigi, you want to talk a little about this gold?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, gold's up like what this year? Like 35%?
Yeah, it's up pretty good. Let me see the gold price. I think I saw it at $2,800. I hadn't seen that price in a long time.
I think it was at 26 or something last time I looked.
Yeah, so in the last month, it peaked. Yeah, it peaked. Yeah, wow, yeah, that's pretty high. So right now, currently, it's at $2,540.
And what's it plus for the year or
plus,
year to date?
Plus year to date,
Because it's beating some cryptos at this point.
Oh yeah, it's let's see, 2,000. I'd say it's up on average. It's up about 25% to 30%.
You know, because one of the things is gold's always been a safe haven.
Yeah.
When they think there's going to be war, like what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in Ukraine, people start buying gold because it's always been a safe haven. But in all honesty, it's something else besides a safe haven. I've always pointed out how you have the words within certain words. Like you can't spell Bible without the word lie. You can't spell alien without the word lie. I've said this many times. But you know, you also can't spell the word gold without what? Old. So when it comes down to it, I personally believe that gold right here has more than just blang blang and all this other stuff. I don't think that's what it's really about. I think when you really, I know the heavy one takes a little while to get off. You know, that Golden State one takes a little bit. But I honestly believe what this does is it helps people age. It helps people age correctly. Donald Trump is really on gold.
Right.
He loves gold. Gold bathrooms, gold sinks. Does Donald Trump look his age? How old is that man? Born in 1946?
He's in his 70s for sure.
I mean, late 70s.
almost 80.
Almost 80. Does he look like he's 80 years old? I think I got more gray than Donald Trump has.
Mine's very sharp as well. Mine's
Exactly.
very, very sharp mind.
So if you look at Donald, what word do you have in there? Old, just like gold. Now look at the first vowel. Gold, first vowel O. Youth. You get it? Everything has to do with this. This helps you age. And this is one of the reasons that people have kept this throughout time. I'm not talking about people like me and you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Illuminati types and the people who actually knew about this. Because if you have enough gold around you, it'll even help you age correctly. Even if you're a white dude.
So you mean
Even
that,
if you're a white dude.
Yeah, a
Shout out
lot of
Jordan.
people say
Shout out
whites don't
Jordan.
age too well.
so you mean it stops you from aging, right?
It helps with the aging process.
Or aging gracefully, or,
Yes.
or keeping your mental facilities.
100%. So that's another reason to wear gold for that reason from a metaphysical standpoint. So I thought I'd put that out there today.
No, that's beautiful, dude. Actually, so last night, obviously,
and after that, I think it's time for me to start breaking this shit up.
So we were so GG. So we were basically talking last night about kind of these nines betraying nines, right? I mean, it's kind of it's that's pretty ridiculous. Doesn't mean if you're a 9 life path that you should just give up on life or nothing like that. Just get yourself around good people.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Because I've told people this many times. 9s are so adaptive. If you're around trash, you're gonna be trash. No different than these women. You can have a good girl around a whole bunch of fucking prostitutes. She's gonna be tricking a little bit too. An environment matters so much. You know, like for instance, a black kid who grows up in the suburbs,
right,
and a white kid who grows under the hood. Who do you think is going to have more, ebonics or talking all this other stuff? The black kid in the hood is going to be the white kid in the hood is going to be more and more ghetto.
Right, you get Big Meech,
how it is.
or you get fucking Drake. You know,
Don't start playing that song. Don't start playing that song right
now. But I we had this talk that you basically are going to start releasing much more, on numerology and stuff that you haven't before. You've kept a little under wraps.
You want me to do one right now?
Yeah, dude, definitely. I mean, you're like, I don't want to say the whole stuff that happened and stuff, but
no, we don't need to talk
we don't need to talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
But GG's got some heat coming up.
You want me to do one? I'll do one right now.
All right, do one right now.
Let's talk about Michael Jordan.
Whew.
Let's talk about the man. Before I go into Michael Jordan himself, I want to talk a little story about Michael Jordan. So I was once with Mike Tyson's little brother.
Okay.
And he told me a Michael Jordan story. It was perfect for him, right? So Michael Jordan is a known gambler,
yes,
big time gambler. And he's also a very, very arrogant man. I don't think that's very difficult for anyone to see.
Right.
So Mike Tyson's little brother went up to the waiter. He's like, "What's Michael drinking?" And it was like some $150 shot type of stuff. So he's like, "Here's $150. Go get him a drink." Waiter went, got Michael a drink, and Michael's like, "Who bought me the drink?" It's like, "That guy." So he's like, "Come here." And when he got up there, he threw the dude $1,000 chip. He's like, "No one buys me a drink." The arrogance, right? As soon as my dude left, he bought him another drink. so again, the arrogance. I want you to understand and be in this guy's eyes, mind for a little bit. Right. That's how arrogant he is. But Michael Jordan made a lot of money, right, with Nike. A lot of money with Nike.
Definitely.
Michael Jordan is born 1963, the year of the cat, right?
Right.
Nike was founded, name change to Nike, 1975, the year of the cat. So we have a cat doing extremely well with the cat company. And that just shows you guys that's exactly what you guys should be doing out there. You are in a goat. You should be around goat things. You're born in a rat year. Should be around rat things. Not Israel too much, but everything else. But that did make you famous. That did make you famous. So again, when it comes down to it, that's just one layer.
Right.
But there's another layer to it. World exclusive. All right. Watch this. Michael Jordan is born what day? Look it up.
All right.
I mean, I got it memorized, but I want a little drama so people Clippers can do it.
I'll look it up.
Damn, bro.
I was looking at something. Sorry. I'll do it right now then.
All right, then come on, man. The internet's kind of quick nowadays. What's Michael Jordan's birthday?
All right. He was born February 17th.
What year?
1963.
Okay. What number did Michael Jordan make famous?
23.
Okay. So every single person out there, they have a lucky number. And Michael Jordan's lucky number happens to be the number 23. How do you pull this off? Look at his birthday. The first number in his birthday and the last number in his birthday. The number 23. So boom, Michael Jordan not only used the astrology to become a billionaire, he also used the numerology. I'm not sure if he knew this. Someone told him. Maybe he got lucky. Regardless, this is how you figure out what your lucky number is. So what is your lucky number? 41.
41.
So that is the number at the roulette table that you should be putting
if it existed.
Now, because it doesn't exist, maybe go with the 14.
Maybe before, yeah.
A little backwards. So what you have to understand is this is an elite way of using numerology, and we released this on your show. And I just did that in Sean Kelly's too. So I guess you're
world exclusive. World exclusive.
Oh yeah, this is coming out before his show. So there you go.
Ha ha ha. But so I had a question. So I've had somebody ask me this a million times. I mean, I just have to ask you. This is about Michael. This is about Michael Jordan. This is about Michael Jordan. Okay. So how did Michael Jordan win on an enemy year?
Oh,
yeah, he did. He did win an enemy year. What else happened in '93?
I am honest. Well,
what else happened in '93? He won an enemy year. What else happened though?
Did he have one of his kids born?
No, his daddy died.
Oh, his dad. Oh, that was a year. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't. It wasn't all that great of a year.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, he won the championship that year, but
the father died.
Yeah. I think if he had to do it all over again, he'd switch.
Yeah. Right. And that was about, from what people have said, is about gambling debts, possibly. That's what I don't know. But that's just that's something the popular rumor.
I mean, they say he retired to baseball because of that. But if that was really the case, would they have let him be an NBA owner? Right. Let's be honest. I'm not sure that's the case. Listen, we all know this. I know this particularly. People love to make up rumors.
Yes.
When you're in a position, people make up rumors about you. People make up rumors about everyone. So why is it so hard to believe rumors are made up about Michael Jordan?
Definitely. That's true. But actually, to tell you the truth, like, 2021 was one of the years I made the most amount of money in my life. And that was my enemy year.
Mm-hmm.
That was my enemy year. But I had some health complications.
Got you one way or another.
It got me one way or another.
It's not always money, guys.
It's not always money.
It's not always money. Sometimes it's health. Sometimes it's family. It's not always money. But
hopefully it's not family, you guys. Hopefully it's not family.
I will say this. Sometimes when people make their money in their enemy year, it comes up to bite them in the ass a little bit later. Example I can give you is the Golden State Warriors minority owner. He was born in '66, year of the horse. I told him 1996 enemy year is a bad year. He's like, no, Gary, I made a lot of money and I got married. I'm like, are you still married? He's like, no. I'm like, did she take your money? He's like, yes. So again, got to look at everything.
Got it. Interesting.
And what about the crypto world, brother? I know you wanted to get in there.
Oh, yeah, well, sir.
You got to get in the crypto world somehow.
Let's talk about that crypto, man.
What's about Zcash? Let's talk about Zcash. Let's talk about Zcash.
So privacy.
I told you about that coin.
Yeah, I know you.
I told you about that coin. Now I can talk shit. I told you about that one.
So Zcash is finally doing good. It's finally moving. I didn't believe until 2025 that it would move, but it moved in 2024. It's basically on a 2x since you talked about it. Zcash, basically, so there's kind of reasons for why it's moving. One reason is just all the basically the United States government and the European Union has gone after Tornado.cash, which is a mixer, which basically all it does is give you privacy. So one problem about crypto is, like, let's just say I have like $100 on my phone and I want to send it to you, right? By me sending it to you, you can now look into my own wallet and see what other coins I've done or my whole transaction history. And for a lot of people, and that's just privacy you wouldn't have. If I owed you $100, let's just say I wanted to pay you $100, I use the Zelly app, or I would use PayPal. You have, at no point in time do you have my entire financial history, which is a privacy, which is you should be able to keep private if you want to, right? Another thing too, when you pay employees, your employee should not be able to know how much money is in the corporate account or in your personal account when you're paying them, because it leads into a bunch of different problems. You know, it's just like, oh damn, they're about to go belly up. You know, fuck it, I'm gonna quit. He just paid me. Oh dude, this guy's got so much money. Pay me more. I'm not doing this fucking work. Look how much. You know, it just causes like these problems. So this is one of the big things. Is I think it's very stupid that people do illegal things on crypto because it's completely trackable. Completely trackable. So they've created something called Tornado.cash, or it's basically a mixer. So what it is it's a pool where I can send usually Ethereum or something like that, or a stable coin. And what it does is it puts all these stable coins into a pool and it mixes them up together like this. Washing. And well, not washing them, but basically because you have a coin like this, but all the coins can be in Ethereum on Bitcoin can just be split into a bunch of pieces. So all these little pieces get mixed together like this, and the longer they stay in there, basically you can't track where it goes. So essentially, you get a ticket, and then you can use this ticket to then claim a new coin. So a new coin can be then given to you that basically has no past history on it, because it's all been jumbled up and stuff. So it's a way where a lot of people who want some privacy to do things or make certain transactions aren't legal in their countries, but is legal worldwide or not. People use these mixers, but
can just question on that?
Go ahead,
Can people? So when you send money to the Tornado Cash, are they not able to track that money going to the Tornado Cash?
They can.
So let's say, for example, you send, I don't know, $100.
Yes.
To Tornado Cash, they can see that $100.
Yes. So you can see. So that's the. So this is.
So how do you overcome that?
Because basically you can send the money off to a different wallet that's brand new. So you could send off that money's now can send to a complete wallet.
Like a shell company.
So it's like a shell company. Now you don't know who owns it. You're like, whoa, that's a weird amount. So
no, but they know that you sent it, right?
If you're really good,
if they're tracking you and they know that's your wallet, they know you sent it, but now they don't know where it went anymore, because you could be. So if you send $1 million, you could just take out 10 grand here, 10 grand over here, 15,000 over here. They don't know who owns it. That's what it does effectively. And what they did is
it's basically like putting a dam up there.
Yeah.
And you can just
it resets the history.
Yeah, I get it.
And as long as you're making a new wallet, it's basically a virgin wallet with cash now. But
isn't the problem they still know how much you put in there though? That's the problem, isn't it?
They know roughly that's why, like, the longer it's in there, the more it becomes much more randomized and stuff like that. There's this big problem they had with Monero where basically people would deposit money into Monero, and if you made the transaction too quickly, they could track your wallet. So people would actually, just to be safe, they would leave their Monero there sitting in a wallet for maybe more than 3-4 hours, and then it would be very hard to track at that point. But regardless or not, these stable coins, I think stable coins, this is a function that we have with our dollars. If I take a $100 bill, right? Sure, it has a number on there, but like if I paid you $100 here, bro, you don't have my whole transaction history. I can pay.
You're supposed to give money to the Jew.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What am I doing?
What the fuck, man? Come on, let's get this shit right, bro. What the fuck? Gonna charge you interest next time, jizza, motherfucker.
Bro, what a terrible word, jizza. But so the two biggest the two biggest privacy coins that have been around the longest, have the most history, has been Zcash and Monero, right? Now
Monero is easy to crack though.
There's starting to be cracks, and also there's problems too where people can't really. There's debates on like what's the actual inflation, because it was kind of all set in private, and they've gone after some of the people who founded it. They went after Fluffy Pony. They've gone, which is like some other.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So Monero is basically they send 10 codes and one of them's real. Is that basically how it works?
In a way, and there's also this whole thing too where like the
someone could just figure out which one it is. It's only 10%.
I think they could figure it out, honestly. I think they could. But obviously, if you figure it out, why would you snitch out that you figured it out?
Well, yeah,
exactly right.
I get it, but still,
yeah. So but also here's the other problem. It's usually not. That's not where they catch you. It's not. It's because if they can, they'll use it just to get some clues. Usually, it's a human error. You can, so let's just say like you've washed, please, you guys don't use Tornado Cash. It's illegal. They made it illegal. They made free. So Tornado Cash was not made for profit. Someone just made the code, let it run, and then people just funded it themselves. And that's it. He just created the code, and they've gone after the guy. I think it's a Swedish guy who made the code, and they've gone after him, and they're trying to put him in jail forever. They're trying to put him terrorism acts just because you created it's like as an example, you created a Twitter. And now you're responsible for everything Twitter has said.
Yeah, like
for
what they're
other
doing to
people.
the Telegram owner.
Exactly the same thing. That's what they're doing to him, because they just don't like that. They don't want free speech, and privacy is free speech. You being able to send your money, like we still have ultimate free speech with crypto, with Bitcoin and Ethereum, with these more decentralized L1s, not L2s, L1s, because I can send my crypto to you. If I want to send you Bitcoin, you will receive it. A government can't stop it. A police, no one can stop it. If I send you money, you get it. The Ethereum, same way too. Now, there's things called L2s. L2s are things built on top of layer ones. These are very centralized. A a person, a government, or a corporation does control, they could stop your transaction.
Mm.
So
USDC, shit like that, right?
Yeah. And then and these are more essential. So it's we still use, I use stable coins. We can't, normally they're not going to stop it. But if a person is doing stuff that you don't like, or you piss off the wrong people, they could flag that, hey, what's going on with this? And then that can get you into trouble.
So doesn't the US government seize like Bitcoin and stuff like that?
They can see, but they have to get the private key. So just because what's in here, if there's no private keys and there's no way to access the wallet, they can't because they can't crack it. There's no way for them to get the money. That they need the private keys, which are usually 12 words, 24 words, or whatever that, or maybe a hardware device as well along with it. But usually when they end up confiscating coins, it's because FBI, open up, boom, they crack in here. I got the computer wide open. I've got the codes right here. They confiscate the fucking notebook and the computer. They got your money. Right? If they don't got your code, if the thing is like, as an example, if someone tried to rob me, right? Give me your, bro, I can't, how? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't got any fucking crypto on my phone. I don't got any, I can't remember these codes and shit. Like, how you, they couldn't rob you even if you, give me your crypto. I couldn't give it to you even if you wanted to, bro. And that's what they don't like about it, is that you do have like this kind of, this internal bank. Then some people have memorized it, and the problem is, like, in the United States, I don't know what it's in the UK, what's the rules there over there in the Eurozone, but you can't travel, internationally with more than $10,000, right?
That's
so
a bullshit.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit, by the way. Yeah, right. Bullshit, right? Yet the Chinese somehow just came in.
Cash out more than that at casinos, man.
Right.
What the fuck?
We talked about this. Las Vegas is awesome because you could take $50,000 out of the bank.
Easy,
no issues. They don't care.
No issues.
They don't care. And this is why I believe so much crypto is freedom, and crypto is giving us back our rights and our freedom of speech, as well as, we have things that have set specific rules. If it's like Bitcoin's a game where we all know the rules. The rules, it has a certain amount of coins coming out every day.
21 million.
21 million total. We have 450 being made every single day. People are competing for it.
What's it going to run out?
2136.
2136.
Yeah, but basically, if we have 19 million out. It's all out basically. It's
2026. Bye crypto.
Yeah.
Bye crypto.
So I'm with you on that. So
bye crypto.
If we run in a classic so crypto runs in a 4-year cycle, and that's because of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin was it's something we call like in 0 to 1 moment, right? Before and after Christ, before and after Allah, things like whatever the hell. It's like this revolutionary, my life and technology or religion, something changed forever fundamentally. Bitcoin was a fundamental, like a 0 to 1 moment, and what it did is it started very inflationary. You had 50 Bitcoin being created every 10 minutes. Very large. It's a very high inflation rate. And overall, this, because it was created in 2009, and over time it is now dwindled down to it's only 450 Bitcoin a day. In 4 years, it's going to be half of that. Another 4 years, half of that. But in all this time, right, we've essentially have 19 million tokens out right now. There's only another 2 million left. So it's most of the supply's out. So it's going through something. It's going through something like supply shock right now. So the U.S. government is now allowed ETFs. So now boomers, more like stock market money is now finally buying Bitcoin. You can self custody it. It's owned through shares. But essentially, we finally are having the traditional TradFi money starting to really roll in through the proper mechanisms where they can make their little vig on selling you shares.
So
Go ahead.
I heard what you said about that, right? And I was hearing this for a while. So why is it that Bitcoin hasn't gone up since that's happened?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
So what's for example, I believe, was it Bitcoin halving that happened recently?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So the assumption was, based on what you said, that because the production, by the way, I'm not an expert on Bitcoin.
No, of course.
And I'm not on everything.
But the assumption that I heard was that basically when Bitcoin halving happens, the production's obviously going to be halved. And so therefore, for that reason, the value should increase because the production's lower, right?
Over time.
So you okay, that's my question. So one thought that basically the value would increase, then it hasn't. So what's I mean, I guess
so it did. So it did. So during the time when the halving, Bitcoin was $40,000. We're now if I look right now,
no, but it went up before the halving, right?
Yeah, it went before that. It went back down. The halving happened
after the halving happened. It dropped in it.
Yeah. And that's usually what happened, because what happens is because you've cut half the reward, you've cut half of the amount of Bitcoin that's in supply. So we went from 900 a day to 450. It made essentially the ROI much lower. So it ends up kind of bankrupting a lot of the let's just say this time I'm mining my Bitcoin through a computer right here, right? But there is another 100, 200, 300 other guys with computers of my size, and eventually it was like, fuck, it's costing me more electricity to run this thing than I'm actually making in profit. So I shut it off. And then eventually, because people were in losses, they sell this is usually why you have a bit of a sell-off, because miners become unprofitable. They sell it. It becomes easier to mine because there's less competition. It becomes the hash rate lowers. And then the extra supply gets bought up.
Market readjusts.
And the market readjusts. It's never just like, because of this, it instantly goes
Capitalism's
up.
beautiful, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just and it's just normal human nature.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Normal human. That's why usually there's a little bit of a run up. The halving's happening. There's usually a little run up. It's usually buy the rumor, sell the news. That's usually what ends up happening. It's kind of what happened. And if I look at the current Bitcoin price, right? The current Bitcoin price is $62,000, right? Almost $63,000. It is a $1.2 trillion asset, just itself. All of crypto together is a $2.3 trillion asset class.
Nothing compared to gold.
Nothing compared to gold. But we're on that ass. And I want gold to keep going, because this is the beautiful thing. It's sort of the glass ceiling. It's like, oh yeah, like it's never going to catch up to gold. The higher, this little magic 8 ball of gold, right? The more market cap, the higher the price of gold gets, right? The more Bitcoin.
What does it say?
I don't know. It says, what does it say? Go all in. I don't know, roll in stuff. I think this Rolo is one of the fucking Rolo. I don't know whether the fucking juice went on the Rolo ball, but as gold's price keeps going higher and higher, because Bitcoin's always kind of compared to gold in a way. It's because it's digital gold, right? And these are just narratives, by the way. I mean, it's just narratives.
Oh,
but
it's digital oil.
Digital oil. I mean, that's the theory. They call it. They have to create these narratives, because regardless or not, right? If everything has value based off of human desire or human want, right? It's all supply and demand, but it's really demand at the end of the day. You could have something that has a ton of supply, but if there's more demand to match it and even more, price goes up. Like
inflation, we know it.
Inflation's real. Or shrinkflation, right? But so this is why we have these cyclical cycles. So right now, like we went on Fresh and Fit. We made a lot of people a lot of money. We in December of 2022, we went on Fresh and Fit. We were begging people, bros, buy Bitcoin right now. It's $15,500. It's fucking low. Within $300-400, go buy. Ethereum's $800. Bitcoin today is 62,000. Ethereum is 2,600. These are the two safest assets in the crypto space. Once you start anything else below Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're speculating. These are much more, and this is why Bitcoin has
Bitcoin went up to 73 at one point.
74.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 74. It's 74,000. But last cycle, so in 2021, that was
capped 99. Calling it right now, 99.99.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible. Like we're like $1 off in Nobes.
And then the crash comes.
No.
They pull the rug out on everyone. That will happen in 2026, most likely.
You and Charlie actually have a bet on that, actually.
Yeah,
I think before the end of 25, it's going to...
I think we had the specific date.
Yeah, we'll look at the specific date. But
yeah, I'm coming to collect my money,
Yeah,
Charlie. I'm coming to collect my money, dog. I want my money.
Charlie bet in 25.
It won't hit 100K.
Before, I think it was November or October of 25. It has to hit above $100,000. Okay. And if it does, Charlie gets 20 grand. If it doesn't, GG gets 20 G's.
I need my money, man.
Yeah. Either way, this is very entertaining to me. I'm like, at least how I'm seeing it right now, it looks like to me personally, like I really believe it's probably gonna hit like $160,000. Yeah. That'll be roughly like it might be 3.2 trillion dollar market cap. And that would put the overall crypto market cap probably at 5 trillion, maybe 6 trillion. And then we go 26. And I agree with you on this, because a classic 4-year cycle, because Bitcoin halves every 4 years, because Bitcoin is like, it's sort of like we've only known crypto with like this central figure, which is Bitcoin. Because of that, it's kind of like our moon cycles, or it's basically the way it moves. So the way Bitcoin operates, if Bitcoin crashes, the whole market crashes. Period. If Bitcoin crashes enough, the bull runs over. That's how massive it is. So because
I believe in Zcash.
Yeah. No, you believe in Zcash. And the thing is, situationally, there's coins that can pump when everything's dumping. But it's all based off demand or use case, right? If we had something where crazy, where like they really start getting, this is why I was very bullish on Zcash later in late 2020s or in the early 2030s, because I really believe they're going to get much more draconian. They're going to start releasing digital. They're going to start releasing central bank digital currencies. Every country's already working on them.
That's true. Yeah.
And this is why I'm so scared of them. The Chinese were the first one to test this out during the last Winter Olympics, where they basically said, "Here you go. Here's a digital currency. You can spend it. If you don't spend it in the next 2 days, it disappears." So they gave everyone $1,000. You have to spend it. If not, it disappears. And that is what they truly want. Total control is basically whatever you earn. Hey, the economy isn't growing enough today. We're going to evaporate 80% of your savings. You have to spend it. If you don't spend it, it goes away. And then, so basically, if they take your ability to save, they've essentially enslaved you completely.
They kind of have with inflation.
With inflation,
you have no more ability to save. But like back in the day, they used to give you actual good interest rates.
Yeah,
you could live off that stuff. Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Now you have to constantly keep moving your money from crypto to gold to stocks. Your money has to move.
They've made us into speculators.
Have to be a gambler.
You have to be a gambler, a speculator. Now, some people are gambling, some people are more speculating. And there's a whole range. There's someone's value investing, someone's speculating, and someone's playing hot potato. Right. And we're like, these are the four things I kind of call it. Like, there's times where value investing is like, crypto's dead. This is late 22. Bitcoin's at the lows. Everyone's like, Bitcoin's going to 5,000. But I literally saw people saying, Bitcoin's going to 3,000. Bitcoin's going to 5. It's going to 9. It's going to 0. It's over. Peter Schiff, I told you my fucking son was a retard. I told you Bitcoin's trash. No. And when everyone's saying that, that's when you buy. When there's blood in the streets, that's when you buy. And this is like classic thing. You know, this, like, you want to buy stuff when it's red. Why would you want to buy it at all-time highs? Unless you've got
March
like
2020, brother. Right. Bitcoin was low as hell. I remember people calling me March of 2020. It was like between 3,000 and 4,000.
4,000.
Somewhere there. And people were calling me like, listen, we want 100 million Bitcoin. We're willing to pay a fucking 15% premium for them. When you heard stuff like that, that's when you know. When you know, they're talking about 100 million. They couldn't buy enough. No one wanted to sell it.
OTC market. So there's over the counter. So just like the when I threw the $100 bill, right? Like, there's also deals where like let's just say you like, hey Miguel, would you sell me some Bitcoin? Sure. And he's like, here's 10 grand. Here you go. And I just sent it to you. That's an OTC deal. Where like it's peer to peer. Governments hate that because that's very untrackable. It just looks like I just sent you. Why did he send him money? You know, they don't like that. But there's nothing they can do about it because they cannot stop it. And this is what so governments know this already. So they're just starting to put, okay, so we'll control how the money gets on the outside. So we'll control the exchanges, the off ramps and on ramps. So that's how they get it, you know. And then and it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But what we need as an industry, we need better tax regulation because we're basically just getting the only protections we have is long-term capital gains, which is if I keep Bitcoin for a year and I don't sell it, I get charged at 15 or 20% on that money because you've already been taxed on that money. So just on the gains. But a lot of the times, because how crypto volatile is, or there's certain investments you need to do, there needs to be like a 1031 exchange. They have this in real estate where if I sell a real estate property, I have about half a year to a year to buy into another property of equal or lesser value, but I have to spend the rest of the money back into, or I take a tax hit. So if I sell Bitcoin for Ethereum, that should not be a taxable event. A taxable event should be if I sell my Bitcoin into fucking dollars. If I sell my Bitcoin into dollars and take it into the real world, that's a taxable event. Yeah. If I'm trading fucking Dogecoin for Shiba and then to buy Pepe and then to buy fucking I don't know, Justin Sun's fucking newest shitcoin, that shouldn't be a taxable event because half the time people lose their ass anyway.
Another reason you need Trump in office because he is pro crypto,
and Biden, genuinely pro crypto.
And Biden, the horse, is against crypto, the rat, and you can see how this works every single time. But 2026 horse year. Bye-bye. Hey, bro,
I'm waiting for 27. That's the GOAT year, brother.
No. By 2027, you'll be like digging up graves. That's what you're going to be doing.
Grave digger.
100%, bro.
Anyways, well, I'll be buying the lows. Because look, 26 is going to be a bad year for crypto. If as long as the traditional money doesn't mess up the whole thing, because this is the first time we've ever had like this level of wealth and money being able to get in. We've had very rich investors in the past. We had Michael Saylor came in with his own company and stuff. He figured out ways to get money in. Yeah, 9 life path, but you
Richard
know, pretty
Hart, 9
life path. Yeah, the 9s do well in crypto.
That's the one thing the 9s do really well in crypto. Bitcoin has an I in it, first file.
I was born on the 9th.
And like, you know, crypto, Bitcoin was established January 3rd, 2009. Last, again, 9.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that made me laugh, you said that all people born in the, you know, like if you're born in 1999, you have more of a masculine energy because there's a 1 in front of it.
Yep.
But everyone born in the 2000s,
yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked.
God damn it.
1,000-year curse. The 1,000-year itch.
No, it's not that, because when 2100, we'll get some of that masculine energy back.
Correct. But no, but that's what I'm saying. But like, it's just kind of kind of a funny thing. But if you get that one, right, let's say it's 2100, right? It still has some feminine energy because there's, of course, but lesser now.
Yeah.
You know, but
think about it. So the Empire Strikes Back 2100 and above, but then after 2100, it's 2200. We're completely fucked, bro. Like, I'm glad I ain't gonna be around.
You know, instead of Megatron, it's fucking Tranitron.
I think that's the most Castle Bill event. It was him. It was him.
I used to have Transformers. Not anymore. I don't have that meme. That was before COVID. But okay, so with Zcash,
I stand with the trans, by the way.
I'm sorry.
I said I stand with the trans.
Explain.
Wow. How so?
So like, I'm basically probably the only person on the entirety of social media who is like probably the only person who's pro men's right? Because when you look at trans, let me ask you.
Do I need to smoke for this? Like,
what's haram? Isn't it?
Dude, this is the second thing you tripped me on. First, you said something about lesbians, and then trans. I need to hear this. Okay, let's go.
We keep getting devolving.
So, let me ask you, like, trans, is it more men, biological men, or more biological women?
It's more biological men. I would imagine so, but let me think. I think most women that are lesbians are faking.
They just haven't had any good
yeah, I believe, like,
I tell every lesbian.
No, give me an energy drink. Just give me an energy drink. Let me think. Yeah, I mean, it's more, but it's also like, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a market expert.
I don't know any like trans person, but when I see him like at like Hard Rock, I get mad.
What?
Okay. So anyway, I won't try and decipher that. So,
and the beautiful Hard Rock opening in 2026 here in the beautiful Las Vegas.
The next sponsor.
The next sponsor.
So look, you said men, right, and that's actually what most people think, right? But in reality, most trans are biological women. Now the question becomes:
so woman going to man.
That's right. Yeah.
Really?
Now, I'll tell you how much of a difference it is. The majority of trans are actually women. And for under 16-year-olds, it's almost 5 to 1.
Wow. Yeah. These
Bitches
are emotional.
Bitches are fucked up.
It makes sense, right? Because women conform easily, they're easily influenced, right?
Yeah.
But now the question becomes, why did you think that? And it's not just you. Every single person I asked the question to, they all give the same answer. And the reason is because social media and mainstream media, they basically perpetuate men, biological men, who basically become women. Now, I do think it's a mental health issue, right?
Yeah.
But,
no mental health issue. Never.
No, but I stand with them, right? Because I'll explain to you why. So why do you think that? Because in social media, they always attack the biological man who basically transitioned into a woman.
Yeah.
But they never attack the biological woman, or very rarely attack the biological woman who changes to a man, even though they're the vast majority.
I agree with you, but I'm starting to see some attacks now on that. A little bit.
Very minimal.
The Olympics did help for the
Let's change that.
There's much more attacks now on like trans men in sport. I mean,
I support trans men in sport.
Yeah.
So like trans women in sport.
Trans women
yeah. Because
you support that too?
Yeah, 100%. I'll explain to you why. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, bro, this is beautiful. Okay, go.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
The people I bring on your program.
There we go. Shout out to GG33.
100% support them, right? So the
You're
question.
a Muslim,
Can you stop doing without smiling?
You're a Muslim. You support trans.
I support the trans community.
Can you stop smiling when you say it?
Yeah, I'll explain to you.
Stop smiling when you say it. Stop smiling, brother.
I'm smiling because I know I'm unique, right? Like I know everybody else.
That's one word for it.
He's a king of Twitter.
Yeah. So listen, and the reason is this, because So the question becomes, why are biological men who transition to women being attacked vehemently, right? Because if you look at the attack on them, it's actually from feminists. So if you look at the biggest attackers, it's J.K. Rowling and many of these extreme feminists. And if you look at their language, it's not, oh, we're against these people because they got mental health issues.
Oh, you're against her because she's anti.
No, because she's a feminist.
Sort of, but she's pretty anti-trans.
Because she's a feminist.
So
that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
So you're saying feminists don't like trans.
I see your lane on this. I see your lane on this.
So if you look at the attack on the trans community, the main people are actually feminists. And then everybody else supports them. And the reason is this. Because in reality, the hatred of the trans is actually man hatred. Because what they actually dislike is the fact that these men, they hate these men, and then they even hate the fact that these men are trying to become women. So a man can basically chop his balls off, and even then they're not accepted by these women. So if you look at the attack on these biological men, it's literally from feminists. It's mainly from feminists. And if you look at this entire conservative movement that attacks it, all of them say, we stand with J.K. Rowling, we stand with the feminists. What about female rights? So if you even look at their language, it's all about, oh, women are being attacked, women are being abused. What about women? What about their rights? So I stand with them.
But I get the logic, Bob.
Right?
I get the logic.
So now, in terms of sports, so for me, it's simple, right?
Okay.
So women shouldn't be playing sports because in reality, they don't.
Gymnastics?
I mean, women should be playing. I'll tell you something. If men did gymnastics, they'd probably be better, right? I bet they are. I've not looked at the data, but
they're pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, male, I mean, they're both.
Those female gymnasts got nice legs. I don't know. I don't know about that.
So if you look at sports, who watches? I mean, other than Gigi who's watching gymnastics, who else is watching sports?
My wife is watching that.
How dare you talk about fucking women's volleyball like that?
Exactly.
Beach volleyball.
Yeah.
The WNBA loses at 10 to 50 million every single year.
Yeah.
And these women demand more money.
Exactly. So in reality, who's watching female sports? Nobody's watching female sports,
homosexuals,
right? Because even they're not, because WNBA is losing money. Female sports lose with money.
You're right. Correct. Touche.
He's coming with the logic on this.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
so
I see
female
it.
sports
A guy who supports trans is coming with logic. Think about that statement.
So a female sports lose money.
Shout out Ari Maddie.
Actually, nobody is watching female sports at all. Right? So if you look at
not even the women.
Especially not the women. If you consider porn a sport,
I'm
watching that.
So the only time people are even comprehending the thought of even watching a women's sport is when they combine it with men's sport, like UFC or these type of events. In reality, nobody's watching it. So women shouldn't be in sports.
Because you are true. I mean, you are right, because if the UFC did, because I do like that Dana puts this, because I don't mind the women fights. But if we split it up where like it was a different televised event, nobody will watch.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
Exactly.
You're right about that.
And it's because the skill sets are not there. So for example, the women's American football team play like under 15 boys and they lost. So the world champions,
that's true.
Right?
Got killed.
Now,
wait, by football you mean soccer?
Soccer,
yeah.
Soccer.
Okay. You put some respect on that name.
Yeah. Soccer. You know, because it's called football because you play with your feet, right?
Yeah.
So coming back to it, right?
I saw a video that actually the UK is actually the one that made the name soccer up. Actually,
yeah, well, I'm sure.
Hilarious.
Yeah, okay. So now,
what a boring ass sport, man.
So that's it's really good. So that's the first problem. The second problem is this: if you look at female sports, it is significantly, disproportionately lesbian. Now you might be shocked about this, but for example,
no, not at all.
You're not shocked. You agree with it, right?
So I don't agree with it, but I mean, it sounds right.
Playing sports, it makes sense.
Like, for example, if you look at Olympics, the data showed that in the Olympics, women, like it was like.
Now I won't say sports specific because there's a lot of straight women in like gymnastics and stuff. I
brought that up.
And you brought that up, and I'm with you on the gymnastics.
I doubt that. Where's the data? Because ballet.
Where's the data that are lesbian?
There was data. Look at it. Type in the Olympics. In Olympics, it was something like 16-1. So 16-1 were like lesbian. Something like. It's either 16-1 or I can't remember the figure, but
16-1. You're saying 97%,
I could be wrong.
96%.
Type it in.
Olympics seems a bit much.
No, it might not be 16-1, but it's a huge number. It's disproportionate.
Okay, so here, so okay.
But would that just be the subset of the Olympians, not the actual
the ones that actually
population?
Makes sense.
Of playing sports. Well, we don't have the data sets for them, isn't it? So we can only take that.
Someone's like, tell me about Casper, bro.
Yo, this is wild, man. This is wild. Welcome to Las Vegas, brother.
Yeah. So same with football, soccer, right? In soccer, in female soccer, again.
Okay. I'm with you on a lot more of the like. There's actual legit sports that are like a male sport. Like if it's like something like male, like a fighting sport, and then that's much more masculine women that are going to be in those sports. So I do believe you that there's more lesbian, but there's sports that are a lot more feminine.
So ballet,
figure skating.
So ballet is an example of like high proportion of women end up turning lesbian.
Oh, turning like okay. No, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if they're going to be athletes, they're going to have more testosterone.
I feel like we're having the council of men discussion right now.
Coming back to my holistic point, if you've got first of all, women shouldn't be in sports anyway. So if they're going to be in sports,
can women drive cars?
Not as well as men, right? So women.
That's such a good dude. That's like a pro defense. Yeah, but but I'm a girl. What do I know?
No, the Crown Prince started letting him drive cars, so I was curious.
So
Pearl's such a good deflector, bro. Like, goddamn, she's like S tier deflector on everything.
So everything's wax off.
Basically, if you're starting to, and like she's really funny, but like you start catching her on something, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, but women are stupid. What the hell do I know? It's fucking master judo. It's in defense. I've seen her get out, like she's talking to some, or like she uses it to get out of stuff. Like, I don't want to spend the calories thinking about this shit. Yeah, but girls are dumb. What the fuck do I know? And then she walks off. Shout to Pearl. Anyway.
So yeah, my holistic point is women shouldn't be in sports. They should be basically acting like women, which is staying at home. And therefore, when they're going to be in sports, like, yeah, they should have one tier system where they're all in sports. No women would then be in sports. And therefore, yeah, if you're going to be in sports and you expect men equality and equal rights, then yeah, let men dominate in sports. So yeah, that person, the man who basically, if he was a man, when he dominated in boxing,
they don't want equality. They want advantage.
Exactly.
And
so I'm against them special privileges. So I'm saying when you want equality, have it in everything. Have it in sports. Let's see what happens. You ain't going to dominate. And also sports has all of these problems, like I've just mentioned. And I also see that the trans people, basically biological men, are being attacked by feminists. And feminist is the biggest problem in civilization compared to anything else. Because let's be clear on this. LGBTQ is there. Trans within the LGBTQ is a minority, an extreme minority. And within the trans, biological men are an even more extreme minority. They're not causing us problems compared to feminists, which are actually destroying society.
Yeah, feminism is a terrorist group.
Yeah. So I stand with the trans against these basically feminists.
Damn, son.
Okay.
Stands with trans, man. That's the hill he wants to die on.
100%.
Well, let's talk about Zcash. So
what about Caspa?
So what about Caspa? No, but legit. So Zach ZBT, this is an on-chain analytics guy. He's like, when you're doing on-chain analytics, I know. Yeah, you usually want to be kind of not public. You want to be like a private, like a kind of like a just like a you're on Twitter with just a meme for your profile picture. But he's exposed a lot of corruption in the crypto industry. But I think there's an equal amount of there's like an equal amount of like bullshit happening in the crypto that's happening in the real world as well. It's just hidden. It's just more hidden, right? But basically what he said about Zcash very recently was that what's going on is there's a lot of these a lot of scammer groups, but basically a lot of people who are
scammers in crypto.
Shocker. But he's saying a lot of like Malaysian and Indian scammer groups are starting to pour money into Zcash and into the private coins because they need a safe haven, and they're bumping it up basically. That's what he said. But
wouldn't that? So, but I don't get it. So, like, if they're putting money in there because
they're just buying up the coin because they're trying to create more liquidity in the system, so they can make larger transactions without making alarms pop off. Okay. That's kind of what it is. So, but it's kind of like.
But then what's the problem? But what I'm saying is, for someone who wants, like, for example,
it's good if you're using it, but it's also like, this is where like some of these assholes are pulling the money. It isn't like it should be more like every citizen. Yeah, I'll put some money in there because I want. But it's more. But these aren't some nefarious characters that are doing that.
No, so I don't get your point. So because I don't know much about this. Okay. So is it that your problem is that ethically it's wrong to put money in Zcash? Or
no. I'm not saying ethically. No, it's just like. God damn it! I don't want these scammers fucking.
He lives in Vegas. What ethics?
Yeah, sir. I cut above the rest, sir. But no. It's just more of just like maybe this is a belief set of mine or something, or just like I hold crypto to a certain standard and stuff, and that just pisses me off.
So it's ethics.
The ethics, but that's my ethics. Right. But I separate them and stuff. It's like if it's gonna make money, it's gonna make money.
But my
Period.
point is, so ethically you have a problem, but like based on what you're saying, and I'm asking this question because I don't know much about.
Yeah, go for it.
So, but based on what you're saying, if there are scammers and dodgy and nefarious people pulling money into something,
Yes.
which they believe is going to help hide their assets,
Yes.
then surely there's going to be more people doing it, and therefore won't that increase the value?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, yo, I'm probably gonna, Zcash looking good now. Because
I told you.
No, because
I told people that was the coin.
Because sometimes you get these moves where like the coin goes up and then it'll go right back. You like this. The problem with this has been the problem historically. Okay, so this is where like I almost got to do like history lesson here, but like in 2021, right? They started cracking down a little bit on basically privacy coins, OTC deals. They hadn't gone after like Tornado.cash, but it was starting to look like the government was very anti-privacy. So privacy coins kind of took a hit. They still went up, but if the governments weren't so negative about it, those coins, like, they would have really gone up. In 2017, when the government was much less involved, especially the United States government, and it was much of a brand thing, you couldn't even get taxed for it in 2017. There was like, if I remember the number, I think in 2015 there was like less than 600 people that paid taxes in crypto. But
how much?
600 people in the United States
wow.
paid. Yeah, 2015. So there was almost nobody was paying taxes because you didn't have to. You didn't even have to report it. You didn't have to report it until 2021. So back in 2017, because I got it in 2016, Monero did very well. Zcash did very well. These coins did very well because they were brand new, and there wasn't this like the government's going to come in, and it was much more libertarian sort of like thought pattern in crypto that time. What happened recently is like it's starting to go less. It's still libertarian, but it's kind of like going more Republican. And as time goes on, it's probably going to go a little more in the middle. I don't think it's ever going to go leftist and stuff, but it's more like it's just kind of going like, instead of being dark red, it's probably going to go light red.
Free market.
Yeah, free market and stuff. Yeah. So this is why I've always thought for the longest time that as governments get more draconian, these privacy coins are going to have their day sometime in the 2030s, because that's when the central bank digital currencies are going to start scaring a lot of individuals, and then there'll be a utility, because these coins have utility. They're used for something. You can facilitate transactions on Monero and on Zcash. I think they're very fucking important. They're absolutely needed. But for me, in terms of like my fundamental analysis and seeing like, and basically what I'm trying to figure out is like, where's the demand going to come in? So if I know, i.e. governments are coming after, are like taking our privacy away in the crypto space, people are going to start looking for privacy. They'll just start buying up Zcash and Monero.
Does Zcash have a backdoor?
I haven't. Probably. I'd have to.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you something. Like I was before 2021. It was only GG33 on Zcash. I were the only ones, and I literally
you hella called it.
Yeah, I put that a lot of money into that with a lot of people, and the owner of Zcash, Zuko, blocked me. He blocked me on Twitter. So I'm sending people to his coin, not getting a penny off it. Not a penny. Never have I promoted the coin. And these motherfuckers blocked me afterwards. I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's that's
all because I said it had a back door. And by the way, I still think it has a back door.
Oh, everything has a back door, bro. Like they definitely do. I mean, like there's all these things. The Monero founders like definitely had in like some of the I don't know if it's been fixed now, but at least when I last looked into it, it looked like they were still, people were still arguing over the inflation. You know how I know exactly the rule set. I know exactly there's 450 Bitcoin a day. I can't say that for Monero. And so some of that inflation is going to the founders. Of course it is. And, a lot of these founders in Monero and stuff, I mean, had Richard Mills back before they got really pop. I mean, they were balling and stuff. And then this is why there was some arrests that started happening around that. And it's mostly because, some people, most people are they bought Monero just to send a couple of most people are just buying it for price appreciation, let's be honest. And maybe paying a person or buying something off the dark web, and it's probably just weed or steroids or something like that, right? But besides that, right? Very few people are like, I'm gonna use Monero to go buy fucking guns. No, dude, like, it's fucking America. You can buy guns. Like, no, most people are just using it to like
buy guns over here.
There's literally a store called Gun Shop. There's a store called Gun Shop right over there. You can buy guns anywhere, and especially in the States. But these coins, as in terms of like, because I'm seeing demand, because demand's basically these people will not buy people are not going to buy the privacy coins unless there's a need for it and a pain point. The pain point is now the governments are getting draconian. So My prediction for the longest time is we're going to see a big renaissance in privacy and privacy coins when more governments are becoming very draconian with their laws and their privacy. And once most governments by 2030 will have a fully functional central bank digital currency. The United States government under Trump is stopping that from happening. So if Trump wins, we are not, at least for another 4 years, we are not going to have the central bank digital currency of the United States coming out. But eventually we'll get a bug eater and hopefully we don't, that'll allow the Federal Reserve to do so. And the Federal Reserve already has the tech to launch it already. Just like the Chinese.
I don't think the Federal Reserve listens to the President of the United States.
No, but they're super against it, and they're trying to like it's an issue. Like it's not really needed, right? It's not.
It will be.
But it will. That's why I say 2030. That's why, because I know that's enough. That's enough. 8 years from now, that's enough time
for the technology to catch up,
and enough of these governments to try it, as well as the dollar, as these currencies hyperinflate over time and the cryptos increase in value, gold keeps going up, and the silver, things of value, Rolexes will maintain value. Things that people really, houses will keep appreciating as long as they don't make a bunch of them.
BlackRock owns all the
BlackRock owns it and stuff, but we're having something called, like, they're saying there's something called the silver spree, or the silver age, where like what's happening is like the oldest boomers are now, I think, 78, if I remember correctly. And you're going to start, you're going to start getting a lot of boomers starting to die. And this is how a lot of
vax.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what the vax is for.
Yeah.
Put them in the graves quicker.
Right. So, and that helps demographically. That was one of the conspiracy theories I had back in like when COVID was going on. I was like, maybe they're doing this to basically speed up the fucking process of just getting rid of a bunch of old people.
I mean, the Social Securities are out to run out of money, so you got to get rid of these guys.
You got an aging population, isn't it?
They said it was 2035. Now it's 2032 when it goes bankrupt.
2032.
Can't
even make it to 2033. I mean, goddamn.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? But like,
Trump's gonna put his cape on and fix it. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean, it's just be nice just to have somebody that's at least neutral to pro crypto. That's it. Like, I mean, we're like some battered and beaten bitch.
Yo.
Like,
I would be that guy as long as I could punish Ripple and XRP. As long as I could punish those two, we're good. Because I mean, think of these Ripple guys. They're like the Christians who believe they're chosen by the Almighty. Yeah. They've been telling me Ripple is gonna pop off for years. Bro. First, it's when we win the lawsuit. They won the lawsuit. What happened? They told me this shit's gonna go to the moon. It's the only one that keeps going down. So these Ripple people, and I thought the Bitcoin people were arrogant. They're nothing compared to their XRP people. So again, you know what? Remember how I always put the word lie and Bible and alien? Guess what? You can't spell Ripple without the word lie either. Yeah, schmucks.
Now I'm with you on that. Now I will say this: look, just because I like, even if I don't like a coin, I'll just like, it will go up in price. I don't think it'll go up much. It might just go back to $3 or $2, and that's it. It will only go up a lot if it gets an ETF. A solo ETF. They've recently won a lawsuit. They were forced to. I mean, they won some lawsuits, but they were forced to pay fines, and they paid, I think, $250 million fine. So it was a very big fine, which is a little scary because when fines that high, they can basically that sets very dangerous things, because then if they don't like a project,
they make that in a month.
Then they can hit somebody, but that's a lot of capital to hit on somebody. So like most crypto, like even though these coins are even though these coins are worth billions of dollars, there's not that much liquidity. There's not like they may have $50-40 million. The average treasury in crypto is probably they maybe have 50 million, 40 million, 200 million. That's all they have. So if you have some big lawsuit, they have to sell coins down. That'll fucking nuke it's donezo then. And then they have to pay that cash. It's over. The project's dead.
2026. We'll say it again.
Yeah,
it's gonna get painful. And
then they never also. Right now, since we're in an upswing, right? It's for some people, it doesn't feel like an upswing because people want to make money easy. Like always, like easy pussy. People just want to buy a meme coin, make a ton of money easy, right? That happens on the last 4 months of the bull run. The hot months. That's every idiot makes money. Everyone makes money. Doesn't matter. Buy this, boom, I make money. Boom, buy. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm a fucking god trader. Just sold this coin, bought a new coin. Oh my god, I'm making all this money, and then the game ends. They go broke.
Yeah, the funniest part was in 2021 when I told people it's not going to be this easy in 2022. Everyone was making money in 2001 on crypto. Literally everyone. And these people thought that bull run was going to last forever. Then January 2002 came. Boom, everything goes to hell. And these people are now applying at McDonald's for jobs. Interesting how that works.
Damn, I'm born in January 2002.
2022, sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, that was an interesting story too, talking about that. I mean, we had a guy, we had a lot of young guys in Miami. That's why I got fresh on speed dial. He's always, he's in the culture right there down there. He's gonna let me know as soon as these NFT guys or these crypto guys start, because it's gonna be every cycle's a little different. It's a flavor. This cycle is an ETF meme super cycle. So it's the big coins making money are meme coins and ETF coins. Most people just think, oh, it's just Bitcoin. So it's very normal. We're about to hit this really, I'm not going to call it a 0 to 1 moment, but it's a very big moment where we're going to get the first inkling of which direction the United States is going to go with the ETFs. Because Bitcoin and Ethereum, I mean, that's just like saying like, I like white bread with mayonnaise. It's white. It's the most white bread fucking shit you could possibly eat. It's like water's wet. Like,
really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just like, oh, an ETF pass for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So my mom gave birth to me. Cool. I mean, like, it's just like a fat, it's like, it's nothing, like there's no risk. Here's where it gets interesting. Because I'm gonna pull up this real quick on the computer, Kyle.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna show this right here. So let me make this a little darker here. So we got Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the big two. This is all the big money, right? Tether, that's just dollars, right? From here, now you have this whole thing where you're picking winners. You're picking winners, right? Because Bitcoin and Ethereum are winners already. Now you're gonna, by putting an ETF, you are literally market manipulating and you're making winners. Solana is a VC-backed project by the United States government. So I've called this as early as like early 23. I've been saying this is probably gonna get an ETF. XRP it pissed off the United States, so it might not get an ETF, but they've been dumping on their followers for such a long time, and they have the bankroll where they may be able to just bribe their way to get an ETF. Dogecoin, that might just be some stupid shit they might add, but that's still a very safe coin for them to do. That's why it's going to the easiest thing. You buy 10 cents, it'll go to $1. Dumbest, easiest money you can make. And from here, you kind of get to this whole thing where like you picking winners. Chainlink is very based in it's very, very in bed with the Eurozone. They are completely a part of the the World Economic Forum. They're fucking bug eaters. Big market dumpers. I don't like this coin at all, but they are basically they basically tell they're an oracle. So what they do is they when you have a blockchain, it doesn't know what time it is, it doesn't know prices. It's a price feed, so it just it tells you what the prices are in real time. So it's used by everything. It's a monopoly essentially, right? Chainlink is, but it hasn't performed it hasn't done very well price wise and stuff.
A lot of insiders told me that's the coin.
Yeah,
a lot of insiders.
So they have a lot of money, they have a lot of offices, and they've paid a lot of people, a lot of bug eaters, a lot of whatever the fuck you want to call them, the World Economic Forum people, a lot of money. So they're probably going to get an ETF, and then it's just Near Protocol. This is the only other US chain. Y Combinator backed. This is a big like dark horse right here and stuff like that. And then, but here's the thing is, and from there, like where else is the United States? Because whoever the United States allows, that that's some chain that they control or have a lot of influence in. Because no one cares if China, outside of China, just buying crypto again, that's really good. But if fucking France says, hey, we just passed an ETF for whatever, no one gives a fuck what fucking France is doing. Worldwide, no, not really.
They never have.
They never have.
Napoleon left.
Not since Napoleon left. And even the Japanese, the crypto originally was like a U.S. kind of base started thing. Then the Japanese controlled it, and then Asia controlled it, and now the United States has it. It's basically been under Japanese, Asia, mostly China controlled, and now this is the first time it's been America controlled again, Western controlled again. But mostly America controlled with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then hopefully we can maintain this for a long time.
And Chainlink is Europe, right?
Yeah. And Chainlink is more Europe. I've truly. And then the thing is, most of the projects in crypto, the people who funded it, the ideas for it, a lot of the engineers, and the people who have really like seeded this stuff it's all been US people, but because of the laws that are in here in place and the things, and there's not good tax code, there's not good structures to create it. The best talent in the United States has just left to other countries, Dubai, Europe, not Poland. Oh, yeah, I guess there's some people in Poland, but like Portugal or other countries, and then they've Singapore, And this is where all the projects are being launched because there's tax advantage. There's like good ways to do tax advantage. They won't get attacked for having created like software. And there's just extradition laws and stuff like we're letting so much talent around the world just fly off to different places if we just had good laws. That's it. Because people want to stay here. Like people don't want to move. Like I know tons of people that move to Puerto Rico because you know, if I go to Puerto Rico, I pay no taxes. You give up your right to vote basically, but you go down to Puerto Rico, you pay no more no more state taxes, no more federal taxes. You have to report these are my assets, do your final taxes. You move there. You have to be there for 6 months and a day. And if in 3 years, it's like a 3-year contract. And if in those 3 years we catch you that you're lying and you've been mostly in the States, then you pay back taxes on all the 3 years. And for a lot of people, it's really great. If you're a single guy in Puerto Rico, fucking awesome, you know, awesome. But if you're married or you have more of a physical business, it's really tough. But a lot of crypto. That's why it's a big crypto hub in Puerto Rico because of the tax advantages there. Yeah,
a lot of tax advantages in Puerto Rico, bro.
But
was it 4%?
Yeah, for corporate. Yeah, there is some taxes, but it's such a small. It doesn't matter. It's like a rounding error, damn near. I mean, it doesn't matter just compared to like even in living in Nevada, right? I'm still paying somewhere in the 30s. You know, yeah, but that's federal. That's not stat. That's not yeah. But GG33, where can people follow you?
I mean, Elon Musk made sure that people can't follow me too much on Twitter, so I can't even give up my real name or the account will be suspended. But Matrix Prime _ on IG, plus 10 other accounts. Let's see, what is my GG33 Academy on TikTok, and again, Gary the Numbers Guy on YouTube. I'm not going to promote that other thing, but I will say one thing. You know, everyone says Zuckerberg is the leftist, and you know, this guy over here, Musk, is the right guy. Let's be honest. Zuckerberg's the one who has a family. He's been with one wife, one kid. Musk has been through like what, 3, 4, 5 wives. So who's the real conservative here?
Well, he admitted today that he was basically listening to Harris and Biden in terms of censorship. So
I bet he was
censorship.
Yeah, he's a
that
piece.
Was happening.
Yep. Well, again, at the end of the day, I said a lot of things on IG that got me suspended on X.
Interesting. Well, Suleiman, where can people follow you?
Twitter. So you can find me on Twitter.
Twitter King right there.
Yeah, Twitter King.
Yeah, just Twitter. Yeah.
Do you have a YouTube?
I mean, I'm not really. No.
Not really.
Not the way he talks.
Rumble, I would imagine, or something.
No, I mean, again, I'm not doing it properly, but maybe in a few months.
So on Twitter, do you mostly do like spaces, or how do you besides tweets? Are you using any other, or do you just go and try to do interviews, or like?
So like tweets, as you said, and spaces.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, he gets an audience on spaces for real, man.
Yeah.
This boy is out there putting in work on spaces.
Well, don't worry, I'll have his Twitter linked down in the bio and stuff like that. So for you guys who want to follow him, go follow him. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. And let's go out.
Zcash.
Zcash.